Hello!
Hello!
Here we are. I had something useful to say and I forgot already.
Did you?
Yeah, I forgot. So we're off to a good start. Anyway, to nobody's surprise,
We're late.
Yeah, that's not even our fault.
No, I know.
It's really not our fault.
It's
as well.
not. I know. My mother just, because of course my mother just bought a new TV. Oh, I can't pay for my winter heating now. They've taken away my winter heating fund. Oh, but I'm gonna buy a new television. Go away. Yours still work. It still works.
Yeah.
It still works, but it doesn't work quite well enough. Oh. Anyways, she wanted to do you have a piece of furniture here that I put into storage and then forgot about? For the new television to go on. I don't know. We had to look for it. I don't know where it could be. I'm mad about it.
Yeah.
And now we're half an hour late. And honestly, I was really excited to start stream today.
Yeah.
Because you'll see in a bit. Techie Cannon Doodles. It's so cool. You have no idea. This is the squeal I made. Just too good to use. I know we don't have
Oops,
what are you
everyone,
doing?
knocking over my water.
Please don't. Is everything okay?
It's okay, it's the empty one I knocked over.
Oh, good.
Which I meant to put away early, but didn't!
Oh.
No, I was going to organise everything and then your mother happened.
She happens all the time.
No, she does, unfortunately. She's a very needy woman.
She's an extremely needy woman.
She's also not a very pleasant woman.
Yeah. Yeah.
Here I am throwing shade. Oh, I should put the sound
Throwing
back
shade
on.
about your mother-in-law. I think that's okay.
Yeah, I
that's
think
quite
so
normal
too.
to be expected, don't you?
I can also throw shade about my own mum.
Your mum's dead. It doesn't really hit the same. It feels disrespectful, you know?
No.
I can't, you know. It doesn't, it's not, just, no.
No, don't worry. She could be a very difficult woman.
She could be a very difficult
She's one of
woman.
those.
Yeah. But no,
Joking,
even though we don't have Rinatsuke and Vanzeeks, it doesn't make a difference.
No.
It's happening. It's happening.
Alright,
Hello, Yoshi and Stray. Maybe you should have made a version for this code. Absolutely not.
Oh!
What you did was enough. This is fine.
We were just about to press this guy on.
Yeah, I don't remember
journalist.
how I made this guy sound. So I think
Uh,
I'm just gonna do him semi-normal. I
Yeah.
don't remember.
I don't know.
Hang on, let me drink some more tea. He's really, really fast. Thank you. Yes, I do remember now. A little bit. But I can't actually say him that fast. I kept
Today you're...
tripping over my words.
Oh,
But
yeah.
Let's see. We'll see. I'll try.
Mm-hmm. You ready?
Yeah. Well, Many Memo-san, how do you respond?
You can do that one.
Uh-huh.
Good job.
Nerd! Overconfident and annoying, I can take that.
Order! Order! Explain yourself, witness. I have no idea. What did he say last?
I don't remember!
Hold on.
Oh, the pen! The owner of this pen is an employee of the Shoyu News whose initials are RM. Suddenly the stars in the night sky don't seem so numerous, do they? Well, Many Memo-san, how do you respond?
I literally don't remember.
The pen.
Yeah, I know, yeah.
I remember it.
Oh, yeah.
Nerd!
Why is there a helicopter out here?
Because aircraft isn't enough. We need airborne blenders to add to the mix. Yippee. So, this is how the mighty Supreme Court works, is it? Using coercive tactics to have well-meaning citizens reveal harmless secrets. I've used nothing but honest tactics. All right then. Fine. I won't try to hide it anymore. Yes, not long before that grim tragedy unfolded. Oh yeah, and he kept flicking his nipples off with his braces.
Yep.
That's what was happening last
Yeah.
week. Owie! Is that not what helicopters are? Airborne blenders? Come on. I, a Shoyu News reporter on behalf of the public, conducted an interview with the Englishwoman. An interview? You never mentioned this before. When exactly was this? As I said, it was before that evil little student girl showed her face in the hut. It couldn't have lasted more than 2 or 3 minutes, that's all. It was just a brief exchange. Yeah, definitely poison, right? But it came to nothing. And as we many memoists say, one of these days I will get the hang of that. The people don't pay their dues for unworthy news.
To be honest, when I read that word, it says, when I glance over it says...
Many may moists?
Yes.
Yeah, right, same.
Well, many may moists, to be exact.
Is it like anime, but like full of men? Many may moists. Oh, that must be where the Ayako t-shirts go. Many may moists.
You lost me. You legitimately lost me.
In what way have I lost you? Do you not know what I'm talking? No, you know what I'm talking about.
No, I don't!
You do! You know all the shirts that have the print on them with the...
Oh!
The anime girl
yeah!
face with the...
No, you're right.
That face? Please don't. I'm not doing that face because why would I be doing that face? Anyway, that's it. Many...
Yeah, many... Yeah.
Many may moist.
However insignificant you deem it to be, this court cannot overlook the meeting between yourself and the victim. You will testify now under oath about the precise nature of this meeting and what transpired.
Got it. Yes, alright, but... Oh yeah, I remember now. He did that thing. Yeah. On one condition! That's what I was doing. Condition?
I have nothing to say here, it's great.
In all good conscience, I couldn't speak out alone about this. You need to call back the earlier witness, Soseki Natsume-san. Soseki-san?
Oh dear.
Oh yes, according to my notes here, that man has a secret of his own. And brace yourselves. Yeah, you braced yourself. Because it's not an harmless one. It's big. What?
What is going on?
Many memoism states that one man's secret is every other man's front page story.
Yeah, he's going to
be pinned for murder again, isn't he? I think potentially yes. And we can't let him know that we already know that he wasn't guilty of... Yeah.
Very well. I will grant the witness's request in this instance. Officer, summon the earlier witness back to the stand.
Soseki-san, hiding something?
It's great. It's been a week. I no longer feel instantly the need to read out everything that comes from this corner.
Yeah, really, because I see blue and I'm just like, that's not me. Oh no, I don't want to read your voice again, actually. Oh.
Are you
comfortable? Secrets. I am comfortable. But we are not comfortable until we are all comfortable. I asked the English woman for an interview, but she declined, so I left the hut without making a fuss. Then, watching secretly from outside, I saw the woman being stabbed and the other witnesses come running.
I'm gonna give you a second because I was just
we can say our cousin sent us a letter telling us about the trial, but we know we won't because this is an AA game. That's a good point, yeah, because, yeah, you could just say literally, oh yeah, that's my cousin. You might have met him, he defended you. Yeah. Yeah, that would make too much sense for an Ace Attorney game, wouldn't it? The detective realised that the victim still had a pulse, so he ran off to fetch help. Yeah, I forgot we said he was with his cousin. I have no memory of this trial.
Do you?
Really. I mean, I do have some memory, but also... That's when this writer man here asked the woman a very significant question. But he didn't say anything about that in his testimony. Which is why many memoism demands I reveal it now.
That's the second pencil, this session alone.
Unfortunate.
Yeah. You You mean to say that the victim...
The victim regained consciousness. I can't do his voice today, I'm sorry. We'll work it. And when she did, you decided to ask her a question? Yeah, we're getting him. That's, true, yes. He did, and that's not all. The woman gave him a very definite answer.
Was it fuck off?
Probably. An answer that incriminates the accused.
Pencil number 3.
We do need a pencil timer, since we don't have a wine glass timer.
Yeah, well.
This is preposterous. Why am I only hearing about this now? Why didn't you mention this before, you yokel hack?
It wasn't even a conversation. Yes, I did pose the withering English rose a question. I don't deny it. But she could no longer speak. She was barely conscious, even.
Counsel for the defense. I expect a thorough cross-examination to be conducted here. The court must and will know the truth.
Absolutely, Your Excellency. The reporter is claiming that Miss Brett implicated Ray somehow. What on earth could have happened in that hut? Witnesses' secrets. I asked the Englishwoman for an interview, but she declined, so I left the up without making a fuss. And you asked her for an interview, you say?
This I will still keep trying to say.
Yeah, it's fair. Well, of course I did. I wanted to ask her about the incident she was involved in at the end of last year. The other judge going, yeah, no, I don't trust this anti-yokel heck of a prosecutor to actually uncover anything. Oh, she wrote on a piece of paper. Oh, that's a good idea. That's a good point.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like
Yeah,
it.
it's a
Didn't
good
you
point.
say you came up with like a weird theory?
I forgot to check my journal.
Oh, well. Oh, well. About the case in which Dr. John H. Wilson lost his life. Yeah, I still think the poison could have been in it. But
Yeah.
maybe he gave her the pen to write. Oh no, maybe it's accidentally his fault. Maybe he gave her the pen to write on
Oh god. Mm-hmm.
after she'd been stabbed.
Oh yeah.
Because she did get stabbed. I don't know.
Yeah.
But
oh
I
my
do
god.
still think the poison was
Oh
in
my
it.
god, that would
But, like,
be a beautiful like.
Maybe she wrote the message down with the poison.
Yeah. So what happened in the very first case of the last game is that everybody thought he died because of the gunshot,
Yeah.
but he'd been poisoned.
Okay,
What
yeah.
if this is again a case where everybody thinks she died of the knife?
Well, yeah, because I mean, she's definitely been poisoned because
Yeah.
the eyes,
Yeah.
the was it dilation?
Yeah,
no,
the
it was
dilation,
contraction of the
because-
pupils
yeah.
rather than dilation.
Either way, yeah, it was either.
Either way,
yeah.
it's a significant side effect or
Mhm.
whatever, characteristic of the poison. Yeah. Yeah, pupil constriction.
Yeah, that was it.
Dilated is normal for death. Yeah, I couldn't remember which.
Yeah.
I mean, it makes sense for it to be dilated because the muscles relax.
Hmm.
But yeah. That's not the way I phrased it. Many memoism. Oh, we do it again. Many memoism calls for straight talking. Why did you murder Dr. Wilson? Is how I put it to her. Yes, that sort of talking is as straight as a ruler. Ask every question as if you're asking for a menu in a restaurant, I say. It's the best way.
Well, I'd never be able to ask anybody a question ever again.
If the poison was in the ink, he really shouldn't have the ink on his hand. Well, that is true. Maybe he'll drop dead halfway through the court case. I'm okay with that. I mean, he's already taken his nipples off 7 or 8 times and broken at least 12 pencils. A veteran at the paper taught me that. And how did Miss Brett answer? With one simple phrase. Mystery is a woman's charm.
Boy.
Phew, that told me. So I waltzed right out of there. I really don't think
Yeah.
that's something about that. No.
That's totally how journalists tend to work. They are told no and they go like, okay, I respect this, bye.
Really? Something about that doesn't quite seem to fit together. See, I wonder if they met before when he was interviewing the people at the actual lab.
Mm-hmm.
Gave her the pen then to put the poison in. And then emptied it maybe into something else. But I don't know. I mean, again.
Yeah, I quite subscribe to that. They had an exchange there.
What's the other thought about Pop Windybank's name? Pop like gunshot and Windybank in the back. Oh. I like that though. Were they not also calling pawning stuff in a pawnbroker's popping as well? Or am I thinking something?
I have no memory.
But I kind of like Pop Windybank in the back.
Yes, same.
That's a kind of a cute. I like it. It's a nice thought, even if it's not. Yeah, I like it though.
Mhm.
Also, actually, that said, where they were also saying that pawning is like putting it in a bank vault.
Mhm.
So he's kind of got like pawn pop PAWN. In the bank
Yeah.
kind of vibes as well, though.
Mhm.
So, yeah, just vault, but like bank vaults are usually quite secure.
Mhm.
So, I don't know, maybe. Yeah, just a vault, you're right. No, I don't trust this game with names either, to be fair.
No.
Really? Something about that doesn't quite seem to fit together. Did I not already read that one?
Yeah.
Oh, more secure than banks. Well, they were lying. Yeah. Leave every room as if you're waltzing in a dance hall, I say. It's the best way.
I mean, I guess in a way one could say it more secure because, like, Windybank would lay his life down.
Well, yeah,
But
but
banks don't give a shit.
once he's dead,
Yeah.
you can just nick anything you want.
I mean, that is true.
Whereas with banks, it's harder to get in on the whole.
It's okay. They can just
They
lose
usually-
all your money.
True. But I
I
mean, what I mean is
nothing
if
happens.
you put an item in a bank
Yeah,
vault,
yeah, no, that is
it's
true.
normally behind quite a lot of metal.
Yeah, no, you're right.
And I'm not saying that it's I'm not foolproof. It's not like completely impervious. But you're a lot less likely to lose an item
It
if
is
it's
true.
held in a bank vault, I'd have thought,
That is true.
than if some old guy's got it in his shop.
Again, true.
And if you don't pick it up in a month, he sells
Yeah,
it.
no, it's true.
If you rob a bank, regardless of success, you are set for life. That is true. That is a very good point. Yeah, yeah. All the free food you could ever eat at the taxpayer's expense.
Did you read the sentence
I did.
yet?
I did.
My bad.
A veteran of the paper taught me that. Apples and pears, apples and pears. Then watching secretly from outside, I saw the woman being stabbed and the other witnesses come running. Golly on Twitter for more life hacks. Yeah. Good life hacks. I agree. That was very persistent of you, considering that Miss Brett had just turned you away. Persistence wins the pouch prize. Any many memoist will tell you that.
Come on. Many memoist is an easy word.
Yeah, you're right. It's an easy word. You do it. Let them think you've left. Then, just when they lower their guard, that's when you swoop in for the scoop.
And the fruits of your labour are all too apparent in this telling photograph. Though I'm sure the young yokel student would rather not be reminded of this damning evidence.
Actually, it's thanks to that photograph that we've managed to identify this witness. Now that you've found me, I'll tell you whatever you want to know. I've got nothing to hide. I'm sure.
Please do go ahead, witness. The court is eager to hear what you have to say.
Try to stop me. There's a story to tell you and I'm gonna tell it. And I'm gonna put something in my mouth that stops me from absolutely destroying my voice.
No, I don't think we get fireworks
this court
here.
does get fireworks, I think.
That's why it's the Great British Court. That's why it's superior to
exactly.
this primitive Japanese court.
Mm-hmm.
The detective realised that the victim still had a pulse, so he ran off to fetch help.
What's the point then? I don't know. I don't really care whether or not we find this person guilty or innocent.
Oh.
They're her friend, not mine. I don't get fireworks, so I don't give a toot.
And Suzeki-san remained behind in the hut. That's right, yep. Our author friend here was a blabbering wreck, shaking all over from his head to his toes, moustache twitching, eyes bulging.
What do you expect? You don't know the terrifying troubles that taunted me whilst travelling abroad.
In all fairness, you did have to like deal with that couple.
Oh god.
You had to sit through trial, being like convicted for murder,
Yeah.
while those two were like, tee oh Roddy.
God.
Oh, Pam, what her name was? I don't know.
No, Patricia.
But, Pat.
Pat.
Who Pat? Either
Pat
way.
and Rowley? I forget.
Rowley D'Souza.
Isn't that right, my darling?
Please read this.
Back behind baleful bars. They'll be coming for me, surely. That's all I could think. I felt as though I was gasping for air, drowning in a sea of cold sweat. He's not dead, that's good. Yeah, right, he's not dead yet. But he did escape the country, so.
Poor Suzeki-san, his experiences in London have scarred him deeply.
Understandably.
As the world seemed to close in round me, I quietly recited a prayer to Amida Buddha. Eternal emptiness, empty eternity, the end is coming for me, surely.
No sutras are to resound in my courtroom, please.
And now, we come to the crucial part. That's when it happened. That's when this writer man here asked the woman a very significant question.
Hold it! What question? What exactly did he say?
Well now, you should hear that from the horse's mouth, I think. Don't you, Mr. Writer Man?
Ah! Out with it, you yokel hack! What did you say to her? What did you say to the dying Englishwoman?
Well, in truth, I'd been catching crabs at the water's edge and building castles in the sand, you see.
I think that's very valid. Well, the seaside is a place to be at leisure, I suppose, even for a grown man.
But then, all of a sudden, from that little beach hut, a young girl's panic-stricken cries for help pierced the air. Right. I ran up the beach to see what was happening, to find the defendant leaning over the collapsed victim. As soon as Inspector Hosonaga saw Miss Brett on the ground, he sprinted off to get help. And then, just a moment later, I heard a faint moan. A moan from the dead Englishwoman. I nearly jumped out of my skin. But what did you ask her, Suzeki-san? I asked her, who did this to you?
Don't protect us any longer. How did the woman respond?
She didn't. She said nothing in response. But... Sorry.
What?
You taking a while to press
Oh.
the button. I was
Oh,
just
yeah. When in the stand you answer the question asked of you. unambiguously. Now, without evasion or reticence, I demand that you amend your testimony.
I will! I asked her who did this to you, but she never replied. She just lifted a trembling finger and pointed in the direction of the defendant. I don't know where I was pointing.
No, I was very
Pathetic.
distracted.
Pointing. That's you.
I know.
Oh, that's me. Poor Suzuki.
But this is
I
not my
can't
line.
read.
Poor Suzuki-san has been fidgeting constantly in the stand next to Minimemo-san.
Yes, like a naughty child who's waiting for punishment from his parents. It rather reminds me of you when you were younger.
I was like that.
Never mind that now. The question is, how far can we trust this reporter's account of events? We must focus our energies on gathering information and establishing facts.
Yes. Sorry, there's something on my desk that is making... There we go. No. A rattling noise every time I move my arm, and I don't want the mic to pick it up.
I asked the Englishwoman for an interview, but she declined, so I left the hut without making a fuss.
But you've been here already.
Yeah, I'm sorry I accidentally did this. It's like, wait, this is what we've done before.
We need to press Horse's face.
Oh, sorry that we had to go through
Yeah,
all this
thanks for
again.
that. Yep. Him just taking off his nips like that.
Stabbing. Oh, that's not what I wanted. Oh, come on. Thanks for starting the pulse, run off to fetch help.
And then we've
and
got-
then
so we'll
he's
press
asking
on-
Who did this to you?
Was I don't think we pressed on this amended statement.
No, which we're going to do now.
So you tried to find out who the culprit was. He who asks a question is a fool for a minute. He who does not remains a fool forever. And having been labelled a criminal twice during my time in Great Britain, I was quick to make up my mind twice.
Wait, twice?
Twice? Twice?
I mean, I'm trying to remember. He got like,
I mean, he got accused of the murder.
yeah. What else did he do before the
Ooh.
murder?
What have I forgotten?
Better
to be a fool for a minute than remain a fool in prison forever.
However, you've indicated that the victim failed to respond. Is that correct?
I know why. I know why the Englishwoman said nothing. She was ignoring me because of my stoop and moustache. Because I'm Japanese. To be fair, she was a bit racist.
She was a horrible racist bitch.
Oh dear. Suzuki-san has really developed a dislike for the English, it seems.
Can't
That's
really
fair.
blame him. Having read the report on his time in Great Britain, I can't say I'm surprised at his xenophobia.
But the Englishwoman didn't ignore you at all! Did she, Mr. Writer Man? Well, yes, alright. She did respond in a manner of speaking, I suppose.
Gonna elaborate?
She just lifted a trembling finger and pointed in the direction of the defendant. I'm pointing again just because I can. Miss Brett pointed a finger at the defendant. Suzuki-san, is that really true? It's not easy to stand here and say this, but when we first entered the beach hut, the Englishwoman was sprawled on the floor before us, with the student girl standing on the far side of her. And when I asked, "Who did this to you?" the Englishwoman summoned her last ounce of strength to point a trembling finger at the back of the hut. Yeah, which is
back
where
of
she
the
was
hut.
stabbed. She was stabbed from the back of the hut. through that hole in
Yeah.
the wall with the
Yeah.
knife. Which was, it can't be denied, in the direction of the student girl who stands accused today. Because, there's that hole in the wall
Yeah.
in the photograph, which very clearly she was stabbed through
Yeah.
because, obviously, she was sitting on the stool at the back and
Yeah,
then she
exactly.
collapsed forward with a stab wound. No.
Sasaki-san, why on earth did you neglect to mention this in your original testimony?
That's a very good point. If you lie face down in the sand, it is hard to point a finger backwards, right? It is true.
It really is as well. Like,
Actually. Maybe she just kind of flipped her hand over and went, eh. Eh. But fiddlesticks, I say.
this is not a British court of law. You will respond in Japanese.
Yes, of course, the Englishwoman did point her finger towards the back of the hut, but I was trembling, and she was trembling, and everything was a blur. And thinking about it, I feel as though perhaps she was pointing in a slightly different direction. Actually, no, not slightly, in a very different direction to where the student girl was standing. To somewhere at the back of the hut where nobody was standing at all. You mean that your memory of events and the direction in which the victim was pointing are both unclear? Yes, that's it. Unclear. I'm very, very unclear. Yes!
Think you miss it. Anyway,
Oh, it's so good.
I need to pull it out.
I
Yeah.
love it so much.
Yeah. And there's no fanziques.
I don't care.
Fanziquing in spirit.
I don't care. I love it so much.
Your Excellency, surely this proves the matter beyond all reasonable doubt.
Thanks again, Doodles. It's just so good. I'm so thrilled. It's so good. I love it so much. You did that, and I'm so happy. Soon the defense will also be able to object, and then you will see. Yeah. Thank you so much, Doodles, for drawing those for us. They are. Nah, it's fine. It's fine. It doesn't need to be a bigger resolution. It's beautiful.
Yes, the woman may barely have been conscious, and yes, perhaps her finger wavered slightly. But there can be no doubt that this was an attempt by the victim to confirm the identity of her assailant. Why? Because, as the court can see, there was no one other than the accused in the direction the victim was pointing. It is now abundantly clear that no one besides the accused could possibly have committed this crime.
I am inclined to agree.
Judges are always just dumbasses in this.
They're like, yeah, that sounds right.
Like, oh
And then-
yeah, good point. Oh yeah, good point. Oh yeah, good point. Oh yeah, good point.
And in the absence of any credible argument to the contrary even, I believe we can now conclude this trial. Bitch,
Wow!
there is no, there is so much doubt here. It's
Yeah,
like,
good point. Yeah, no, and nobody else in the back of the hut. Definitely couldn't have been somebody
Nah.
near the back of the hut or round the back of the hut. Or also, I like that they basically Suzuki-san and Menimemo-san are allegedly both in the hut at this point. But because we haven't put the markers down in the hut, everyone's like, yeah, there was nobody else in the hut. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
In a very different direction. Yeah, like,
Yeah.
I'd say that's quite a credible argument.
I mean, yeah, but apparently the
Also,
judge doesn't think
How the
so.
hell did she stab her in the back? I suppose because it's like Ray saying she suddenly pitched face forward. And nobody else saw that.
Yeah.
No, definitely not significant, Noodles. You should just ignore it. Ignore that that's a thing that just got said.
Yeah.
Conclude this trial. Jesus Christus. No! The headline's writing itself. Dashing lawyers hopes dashed. 92 point across the whole page. We'll do an extra edition.
This is a serious blow, Susato. Why are we using Susato? Like,
Don't know.
fuck's sake. We're like, oh no, don't get found out, everybody. Oh, Susato. Anyway. And thus we're able to identify the true culprit and substantiate our claim with evidence. The judge will give his ruling, and the trial will be over. You can't compliment me, I'll
I
trip
was
up.
impressed. But that's impossible, Father. We don't even know how the crime was committed yet. Poison!
Impossible though the task may seem, we have no choice. We must think back over everything we've learned thus far. Somewhere in all those details, I'm confident we'll find the clue we need.
Ray gave us her account of how events unfolded in the defendant's antechamber before the trial resumed. She told us what happened at the precise moment Miss Brett was killed. Uh-oh, I hope your cat's alright.
Uh-oh. Oh no, it's me!
You read that.
Yeah, I
was
forgot!
like, that seems like... I don't remember what voice I did for this, but...
No! The Englishwoman was sitting at the back of the hut, listening to what I was saying. And then, a moment later, she suddenly got to her feet. Yeah, exactly, the suddenly getting to her feet thing.
Yeah.
Before collapsing on the floor in front of me, with a knife in her back.
Thank you for your testimony, little gator. How could
will
Miss
end.
Brett have been stabbed in the back in a beach hut that was empty but for herself and Ray?
Ray does sound like somebody who sounds like Lil Kate.
Yeah! Somewhere amid all the information we've gathered so far, there must be an answer to that question. Yes, there is one.
I take it then that the defense has nothing further to add. Dude, you gave us like 5 seconds!
I have quite a lot to add, actually.
So, the gallant yokel student's luck finally runs out. I can't say I'm surprised.
In that case, I'm ready to deliver my final verdict on this matter.
This is a crucial turning point now. If I can't establish what really happened, it's over.
It's so over.
Where was the real culprit hiding? And how did he or she stab the victim? I know how. I mean, I know where, but I don't know how. But I guess we're gonna have to say I know.
I know how, yeah.
Objection!
Yes!
I don't recognize the voice, but we got there. I was like, wait, it's not Rinosuke's voice. Who is this? Rinosuke?
Your Excellency, I respectfully ask you to postpone your adjudication for the time being.
And okay, we are objecting.
We are objecting so
we are
hard.
pointing a finger. Really
Yes,
hard.
it's so much.
Oh, to what end, counsel?
The defense would like to present the court with an alternative theory. Isn't it? It's so good, right? Doodles did them, and I am honestly so thrilled.
Same, but you know, she's doing all the squeak for me, so I don't have to ruin my voice.
Okay. I mean, yeah, but like, yeah. Like I said, the squeal I let out when I saw them.
Yeah,
They
I
have
can.
backgrounds too, but.
Yeah, but we're just using these now.
framed. I want them on the wall, or I can look at them every day. An alternative theory that can explain who the victim was actually trying to implicate with her dying gesture.
I legitimately have no idea why I read this impregnate, and I was very scared for a second. I was like, wait, what? No.
That's not how you use ink reservoirs in pens. Thanks.
You missed your own objection.
Oh,
I ruined it for you.
So,
an alternative theory? None exists.
Objection! It's like Jesus Christ is starting a fucking objection.
Objection fight! Objection fight!
there was someone else present at the scene who could have committed this crime.
What?
And the victim, Miss Brett, tried to reveal who it was to those around her at the time by mustering all her remaining strength and pointing a trembling finger in the killer's direction.
I'm joining
Yeah. We can all point.
Then this is fiction. Fantasy.
Like, we legitimately just had a whole discussion about this.
About
but
how
okay, go on.
flimsy
Yeah.
the reeds were. Yeah.
Very well. You seem so sure of yourself, Counsel. I am prepared to hear your alternative theory. So, young Naruhodo,
Yes, Your Excellency.
you will present your latest theory to the court by means of this plan. At the moment the victim was stabbed, where exactly are you proposing the culprit was concealed? La 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 here. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Although he said like it could like yeah.
But, like through the doohickey, through the whatchamacallit.
Through here
Because
like,
she was sitting on the stool.
yeah, exactly.
So the culprit was concealed behind the hut.
Yeah. Oh, can I just is it
Like a smidge
present?
to the left.
Oh yeah.
okay, that's fine.
Sorry,
The true culprit was in this area here.
I didn't save. Nobody told
Oh.
me.
Yeah, that's
Chat
Ganondorf's
didn't.
cats is puking.
There,
Cats.
Counsel.
That's right.
Uh-oh.
Your Excellency, I believe the culprit was hiding in the location I've indicated.
Why?
Oh, that's rather hard to say.
Oh, we got it wrong. See?
Oh
See?
dear. Well, you sure? That's so weird.
Okay. No, but because of course he was saying that it could have been elsewhere. I think.
Yeah, but like, there's literally a hole in the back of the thingy. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
So I guess safe
I'll go
now.
safe now. I think.
Okay, that's so weird. What the hell?
Well, just.
Because I mean, like, you did it on the wall rather than behind the hut.
I mean, yeah, I meant to like kind of do it.
But
further
I
in.
mean, normally they're quite lenient with
Yeah.
with locations, right?
Yeah, they are. Well, like, what else could you have been like here?
Well, yeah, this is what I'm confused about.
Like it was okay. We've got to
Because
look at
the
her
photograph,
at the photo.
she said that that's not the right one.
No, but I was seeing where
But
she
I
had been
guess
stabbed.
he's like, she was stabbed in the back.
I guess he could have been hiding.
So that's at the time of the stabbing. She must have pointed this angle.
Maybe it was here. Maybe
so
where
yeah,
he was
maybe we
sitting.
are like, because if you look there, look, see,
Oh,
there's
yeah.
a distinct hole here.
Yeah, so he must. Yeah.
But she must have been pointing here. But how would she know that he'd moved?
Yeah.
Because she was sitting on that little stool, and then she
Yeah.
stood up.
It's
and-
possible because it's kind of at the diagonal.
But yeah,
isn't
so
she?
like presumably he was hiding in that corner there.
Yeah. I heard the camera.
Oh, her the
click.
camera click. Good point. Yeah.
Ah.
Yeah. Good point. Yeah, that's got to be because
So
she
we'll just
she
go
has
with
his
the whole-
pen, so she must
yeah.
know that he's a journalist. You missed us fucking up, girls. Oh dear, I chose poorly.
Well, I suggest you begin by considering where the victim was in the moments leading up to. Shut
Oh, she
up.
was on the stool. Yes, of course. She was on the freaking stool.
Perhaps you'd care to identify a more credible location, Counsel.
Because now I'm genuinely confused now.
Like we're implying essentially.
Yeah, the moment the victim was stabbed, where exactly are you proposing the culprit was concealed? If that's the stool there.
No, okay, maybe he stabbed her beforehand and then moved. Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's what I mean. When she was stabbed, that's where, I mean, obviously
Yeah.
further to the left there is where I was thinking. But that's clearly not it, because you put the thingy in the wall and...
Yeah, normally like going here, like I was thinking
Yeah.
like kind of because they'd been like, you know.
Yeah, that's what I thought. But clearly she was, if she was pointing
Do you want me to
off
do this one just in case it was being
Well,
a
I
little
don't
jerk?
see how... Do you
Yeah.
think? Do it outside the wall?
I'm gonna go outside the wall for a second, and if it's wrong, I'll reload.
Okay, sure.
That works, right?
I don't see if... I just... Oh!
Okay,
Wait. Or is this just a different level of oops?
Yeah.
I wonder.
Let's find
Where
out.
else would a cat puke on your two favourite little new carpets? Oh no!
Oh.
That's so sad.
Oh no.
I hope they're salvageable.
Are they easy to clean?
Because that's the thing. I got a nice new rug at one point from IKEA, which is like a cute little foresty IKEA one. And where did the dogs decide that that's where they wanted to throw up and pee all the time? Yeah.
They were
That was-
pepperonis.
That was their favourite. Yeah, when Terry was a puppy, that's where she liked to throw up.
Yeah.
And then when Sid was a puppy, that's where he liked to throw up. And sometimes accidentally pee.
Yes.
And it was like, come on. Really? That rug?
Remember that time when he peed on your head?
I do remember that time when he peed on my head. Thank you.
Do you also remember when your parents didn't understand that this dog really loves fresh water from the filter tap?
Yeah.
And they let him have like a gazillion water. And when he was a puppy and he stood on my lap and he couldn't
and
stop
he couldn't
peeing.
stop peeing. Yeah, I do remember that. Yeah, no, they.
Ugh.
My parents would not have made good grandparents. They don't listen to any time when we're like, yes, please don't let the dog do this. He'll just pee. Yeah.
Oh,
She hasn't
I
done
never
that in months too. No. They just love to pee. I
They
mean,
know
to throw up
somehow.
on your favourite things. Naruhodo-san would never give up, and I'm a Naruhodo now. The true culprit who fatally stabbed Miss Brett was concealed in this location here. I'm actually genuinely livid.
Are you mad, Council? Okay. You're suggesting the culprit was outside the hut? Okay.
I'm actually livid because I didn't think it was that important.
No, they haven't
Which
been
is
this
why
finicky.
I
Yeah.
didn't insist that you move
I also was thinking,
because you
like,
had it
yeah.
to the left and
Yeah.
then you put it to the right, and then
Yeah.
I was like, oh, it'll be fine there. But no.
No.
Okay.
What?
Alright. Fuck you two, game. You really haven't been this finicky. Good to know you can be. But I guess they're like, I'd say he wasn't inside of your walls.
Yeah,
he
he
was
wasn't hanging
outside.
out.
Order. Order, order. At least we were right.
Yeah, well, there is that. But student, lawyer, Naruhodo-san, Esquire, that makes no sense at all. You just pointed out the exact spot where I was hiding to get my scoop snap.
That's
But
pencil
I
form.
didn't see any suspicious individuals loitering about. I can swear to that.
Because it's you.
Yeah, mate.
You're suspicious.
Obviously. If the culprit had been outside the hut, there is no way that he or she could have stabbed the victim who was inside the hut.
Yeah, duh. The reeds are really fucking bent, you dummy. Actually, Prosecutor Oujii, there is a way.
I guess that's the thing we've just proven. Bendy reads.
Yeah. Oh! And, in point of fact, the defense can provide evidence strongly suggesting that is precisely the way Miss Brett was killed.
You're bluffing. You're bluffing, you yokel.
The defense's assertion is clearly too fantastical for the court to
Oh,
comprehend.
sure, he makes up a load of tosh, and it's like, oh yeah, good point. We actually go like, actually, the reeds at the back of the hut aren't that bad. Like, you could just poke a knife through them, and he's like, no, too fantastical.
You will need to give us more guidance, Counsel. What piece of evidence corroborates your theory that the victim was stabbed from outside the hut?
The photograph, right?
Yeah, like
Surely.
legitimately, this can
you
so.
can poke this through and get the shot. You can poke a knife through and get the shot.
Technically, we can also
No,
no, but
I
we'll
don't think.
we'll
I
go
think
with this
it-
one.
I think it is that one.
I will save.
Yeah.
I don't want chat to get nervous. because
So
we
which
only-
one? Which one do you? Do you think the one with the hole at the back, or do you think the one where he poked the camera lens through? It has got the gap right where she
Yeah.
was sat, but I don't know if that's.
It's just like I think if they ask us to point out where exactly, then we can be
Yeah.
like right
I
here.
mean, it's a good point because it could be both.
Yeah.
Because like
Should we try this one first?
the one taken from the front. I mean, okay, if everybody thinks the one taken from the front, because there's a hole, but
Yeah. The original photographic print of the crime scene.
yes, it's clearly visible in this print. No, okay, everybody was right. The trace of the fatal thrust. You can't without. That was delivered from outside the beach hut.
Do you take us for fools? There's no hint of any such thing.
I'm not sure that everyone present would agree. Someone, at least, appears to have noticed what it is that I'm referring to.
Counsel, once again, I must call you to be explicit for the court.
Okay, take your top off.
Where on this photograph is the trace of the stabbing which you claim took place from outside the hut? Yeah, so that's what I thought.
Yeah, you're right. See, I was thinking it was the fact that he clearly poked his camera through. So anything, if a camera lens can poke through,
Yeah.
because they're quite big, a
Yeah.
knife definitely could. But also, yeah.
I think that's for like the later cases when you have to be
so.
all like finicky. Right now it's still very
I
straightforward.
just
It's like
feel like it. Yeah.
yeah.
Look closely, just here.
But you have to be like, no, it can be like moved aside and like, you know, and there wouldn't be a clear trace here.
That's an owl.
Oh, we did enhance.
Well, we've actually changed angle. I don't think you can see that dress in this angle.
We must have 2 photographs.
Yeah,
With
Van Zeke seeing this thing. Yes, stereoscopically. Still mad that he didn't go cross-eyed. In the screen at the back of the hut, you can see the effects of a blade having been forced through the reeds.
No, I can't. I can't see any such thing.
It's true that the hut in question had 4 walls, as you'd expect. However, by parting the reeds, a knife blade could easily penetrate them.
This extraordinary. Jesus, this George is stupid.
He is, isn't he? Yes. But it would be very, very creepy if there were like the shadow of shoes back there. I agree. God. The true culprit actually stabbed the victim from outside the beach hut. And of everyone present at the scene, there is only one person who could have done that. Only one person who was directly outside the hut when Miss Brett was killed. Written many memo-san. It could only have been you.
No!
Who said that? Oh, you.
This preposterous idea leaves me almost speechless. Just look at the photograph again. The victim lies almost exactly in the center of the beach hut, does she not? Are we to assume, as part of this farcical scenario, that the assailant was a knife thrower?
Objection!
Drink it.
No, of course not.
We're not.
If you recall the testimony of the defendant about the events just before the victim's death.
Inside the beach hut, I confronted Miss Brett. But she just sat on a stool at the back of the hut, smiling sweetly at me as if she knew she was untouchable.
A stool?
Have another look at the photograph. The slit in the reed screen.
Enhance.
Would align perfectly with the back of a person who was sitting on that stool.
My word! So in fact, the victim was...
Killed whilst sitting on that stool by a stab wound to her back delivered through the reed screen. Having been attacked, Miss Brett rose to her feet instinctively, but then, unable to speak, she collapsed on the floor in the middle of the hut, before the defendant, Mbani-san's appalled eyes. And that, Your Excellency, is the truth of what happened on the beach that day.
Squeaky toy noise. Yeah.
By your silence, Memo-san, I take it that you don't deny the charge.
Please have a meltdown.
This is absurd.
That will do. It would appear that we must have a tacit admission of guilt from the witness. Accordingly, this court has successfully established the truth of this matter, which means that the defendant, Mbami-san, is innocent of the crime.
Oh, thank goodness. I finally made him cave.
I must say, I've never been more proud.
Maybe you should draw him as a squeaky dog toy on him. It would be too funny, but you don't have to. Whatever brings you joy.
No, this can't be. The Oujii clan can't. What of my growth? My growth of hope? It wasn't all an apparition. I can't accept this. I won't.
I see no reason for the continuance of this trial. I will therefore move to conclude proceedings by... Oh, hold it. Who's saying hold it?
Who's holding in? Whomst?
There was no voice.
Well, this is all very convenient. This is how the highest court in our mighty empire delivers justice, is it? Suppressing well-meaning citizens' freedom to speak and branding them as criminals.
But they've established that the victim was stabbed from outside the hut through the reed screen walls.
And no one but you was in place at the time to have his hand on the hilt of the blade. It's a perfectly logical deduction.
So, your argument hinges on the location of whoever stabbed the Englishwoman, does it?
He said someone else poisoned her, potentially.
Well, it seems a little irrelevant now.
Irrelevant.
He had a breakdown.
Irrelevant. Where she was stabbed. How she was stabbed. It doesn't matter. I mean, whether she was stabbed at all makes no difference if you think about it. After all, this trial's already shown the whole thing hinges on something else.
Poison. What are you talking about?
Brace yourself, little man. I'm talking about the fact that everything's changed. Ouch. Because of the dirt you dug up.
You deserve everything you got for making me listen to your hit show.
Let me put you in the picture.
What? Enough obscurity. Explain yourself, witness.
What's to explain? I'm talking about the poison, of course.
Of course.
And that poison.
Let's ask the professor for a comment on the situation, shall we? I understand that a deadly poison you were developing was stolen from your laboratory, correct? And it's been shown that this poison was administered to the victim, Miss Brett. Is that right?
No. That is correct. The unusual constriction of the victim's pupils are a sure sign that this particular poison was used.
I see. So, presumably that means that the victim already had the poison in her body before she was stabbed.
Given that her pupils were clearly constricted, it seems highly likely, yes. If she had been dead already, the poison could not have circulated in her blood.
Oh boy. Yeah, we established that he was there, but
Yeah.
I think he's still pretending that the poison... Or
Uh-huh.
maybe the poison got in her blood some other way. Maybe she didn't want to be deported. I mean,
Well,
maybe she did it herself.
maybe? Maybe she did, actually. It's possible she
She
wanted
already took
to.
it.
Because
and
if
didn't-
she's gonna go to Hong Kong, wasn't she? Like,
Yeah,
it's-
she's going to be extradited, essentially, for trial.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe
Yeah.
it's possible. Yeah, he's trying to establish that our defendant poisoned her.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Ah, how refreshing to hear the argument of a metropolitan mind.
Oh, I see. He's a metropolitan mind now. Gotcha, cool.
Precisely. It matters not a jot who stabbed whom, in whose back, and with whose blade.
Kinda does.
Well, it does a little bit, but also... Because, quite simply, the Englishwoman's life was taken not by the knife, but by the poison.
Somebody still kind of stabbed someone, and I think it does.
Objection. This case is still going to take the entire stream, I suspect. She was chosen to travel Shanghai. Yeah, not Hong Kong, Shanghai.
Oh yeah, it
yes.
is Shanghai. I thought it was
yeah.
Hong Kong, but no.
This week to the British Consulate Court to receive sentencing from the British judicial system. Yes, thank you for that recap. I don't know what would we do. What would we do without you all? But that can be explained by the poison being on the blade. It's like, no, Susato, it wasn't on the blade.
No,
we
it
already got
wasn't.
it back from testing. Hello, thank you.
Forgotten already, have we, yokel?
Am I just like an 80s cartoon villain at this point? I think so.
During these very proceedings, the laboratory of the professor at your side assisted in proving that the blade of the weapon used to attack the victim had no trace of poison on it whatsoever.
Pando!
Yeah, she
Come
did
on!
also die from a hemorrhage. But yeah, they're claiming that I guess she would have died anyway because of the poison. But
Yeah.
So, let me get this down. The facts are skillfully established by the defence in this trial turn out to be a headline-making red herring. Is that about right?
well...
Order! Order! Order!
Fatally stabbing someone when they're already poisoned is still fatally stabbing someone. Yes. It is.
Mm-hmm.
But
Where does this leave us? How, in that case, did the poison enter the victim's body? There's an undeniable obvious answer to that. The lady most likely
imbibed it.
Yeah.
You mean she drank it?
Have another look at the photograph here, as you can see. A bottle of carbonated water and a glass have been knocked onto the sandy floor of the beach house. Okay, this is sounding sussy, considering she killed, Watson.
Wilson.
With Wilson.
Also carbonated water.
Yeah.
Okay, so either then it was... Oh, well, I mean, we're turning this back onto Ray at this point.
That's a bit sussy
that is
sounding.
quite sus, yeah. Because
That's,
why would she kill herself in a poetic... a mirror of what she did to... maybe Ray did do this after all.
It's, oh no! But of course, that's the thing that we're not gonna go through. Oh no! Are we gonna start
true.
doubting Ray again?
Maybe Daddy did it.
No, the
Daddy
poison.
wasn't there.
Yeah, could have been slipped into either.
So somebody made Miss Brett drink it.
Yeah, I still think.
I still wonder if she did this after.
Well, what do you know? Look at those dashing eyes. This'll make a great front page shot. Hey, why the bewitching stare? After all, I'm the last person you should be looking at. I would make no sense at all that I poisoned the woman, would it? I mean, that's been established already.
You're the photographer offered to have a drink with her. That's a good point, actually. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Established? What are you talking about?
Don't tell me you've forgotten. That's a little hard to believe, given that the person who established it was you.
Oh, come on now.
Me? What on earth does he mean?
Oh, let me capture those wide eyes. This is prime press fodder, this is.
It will seem that this trial is not destined to end yet after all. I hereby call upon the witness to give further testimony.
Oh, that's great, that is. Let me get a shot of that magnificent beard, Your Excellency.
You claim it to be impossible that you were the one responsible for administering the poison to the victim. You will explain to the court in your testimony the basis upon which you make such a claim.
Yeah, and of course that's where the fountain pen came in. He emptied it. In fact, it wasn't
Yeah.
her smuggling it out, it was
No.
him, because he was also in the lab earlier in the day, did it in the fountain pen,
Took
popped
it
it
with
in
him.
the water, which is weird because you'd think that you would notice that the water was blue, because even if the ink reservoir is empty, it's still going to have
But
residue.
why would
But
he have wanted
okay.
to kill her? I can't figure it out yet.
I don't know. It's a good point.
I have struggled to find a motive yet.
Yeah,
But I'm
that,
sure we'll
that
find
is
out.
a problem. Unless he's a fan of Sholmes.
Is he a fan of shows?
I mean, maybe he's a fan of Rants magazine. Oh, you think he was friends with Wilson?
Oh,
Could be.
it
Could
could
be. Ink does go invisible in water, but if I emptied out my fountain pen into a bottle, it would definitely turn distinctly blue.
Yeah.
Speaking as a watercolor artist who's occasionally accidentally washed her brushes in a glass of water, even a tiny bit does kind of change the shade quite a bit.
Yeah.
But maybe we'll just suspend our disbelief for that one.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I'm a journo and I'm a man. I've never tried to run or hide from anything in my life. And I'm not about to start now, because that's money memoism.
Got it.
Thanks. For a brief moment, I thought I'd eliminated the truth, but it slipped right back into obscurity again.
Sorry about that, babes.
In the dark of the heart. It's a good point. It is actually quite dark in there, isn't it? I hadn't really thought about that. You probably can't see a slight hue change. It's true. Just where is this trial going to take us? Yeah, and like you said, it probably doesn't need to be a lot. I suppose you could have dipped it in. It would make. Then what we'd have to do is see what was in the barrel of the reservoir of the pen.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
But
That's
I
what I
don't
want to
know
try.
if we can test that.
I wonder if
yes. I stabbed the Englishwoman, and it's that very fact that proves I'm innocent.
Okay.
Because why would I have bothered to stab the woman if I'd already poisoned her?
Like you said, not fast enough, potentially. Though.
Pencil number 5 or 6?
I don't remember.
It's 5 or 6.
At least 5 or 6 today,
I think
anyway.
It's 5.
When I heard the student girl and that pompous English murderer arguing, it got my goat. If the courts weren't gonna punish Brett for what she did, someone else would have to see justice done.
Yeah. The ink is definitely from emptying out the pen, I reckon. Not just there to
No.
prove that he has ink on his hand.
Yeah. Because he's been using a pencil since, which is
Yeah.
also just fucking weird. He has ink on his hand.
Well, we pointed out that the pen must have been his because
Yeah.
he's been using pencils.
I know.
But
Yeah.
he has
it's just
ink.
such a...
because he was
Yeah.
all like, yeah, I just use pencils. I don't use a pen.
Yeah.
And we were like, do you have ink on there for or what?
So you admit it then? That everything happened as I described?
But you are the one who stabbed Miss Brett in the back through the reed screen.
You can blame this miserable country of ours. A country that bows to the pressure of foreign powers and lets murderers walk free.
Yeah, in which case I think if anyone was going to, like, do such a... Oh, what's the word I'm looking for? Theatrical, I guess? Because it mirrors
Yeah.
the original murder. In carbonated water as well, you said.
Exactly that, yeah. Yeah.
That kind of feels like he was aiming for that and then it just wasn't working properly.
Yeah.
So he was like, oh, I'm just going to stab her because maybe the poison, because it was
Yeah.
experimental poison. But
Yeah.
we have that poison detection stuff in our inventory.
Mhm.
And it wouldn't let us check it with the pen before.
Well, we
But
might.
the fact that we have it means that presumably we're going to test.
Yeah. Yeah, also just for good measure, in the first case of... Sorry that I keep bringing it up. But, like, so it's established that at that point in time, Japanese crime investigation wasn't as advanced as, say, England.
Oh, yeah.
What they would do, they would just basically check out the crime scene, log it, maybe take a photograph, now they can do that, and then just put everything away. And they didn't store, for example, important things on the
evidence
crime scene.
and
So
stuff,
evidence is
yeah.
not kept. So, like, okay, you know the guy from last time who was, like, dressed up in his little beach outfit?
Oh, yeah, the one who was in a sailor outfit the first time
Yeah,
as well.
so, yeah, he apparently, he pocketed stuff from the crime scene for, safekeeping.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he had the fucking bottle of carbonated water from the table.
Aha!
So, and she, Miss Brett, didn't want us to test the water, so she just drank the whole thing. And he brought it out.
What?
So, again,
But I
the
thought it was
bitch was
poison.
actually yeah, well, the whole point of that poison is that unless it enters the bloodstream directly.
Oh, right.
So as long as you don't have, say, a wound in your mouth,
Oh, yeah,
you're
like
fine.
he did, because he just had dental surgery.
Yeah. So that was that whole thing. So, yeah, she was crazy, absolutely fucking mental.
Yeah. I mean, she definitely deserved to die.
Yeah.
But also,
Yeah.
our friend does not deserve to go down for it.
Yeah. And
Maybe
again, it's just it's upsetting that he died. It's just such a stupid woman.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Well, yeah, the fact that potentially is Iris's daddy as well.
Yeah.
But yeah. No, it's annoying that we didn't do the case on stream, but we didn't think that
No,
it
I
hadn't
didn't
even
at the time.
occurred to stream this until we were looking at the second
Yeah,
case.
okay, so this is even more crazy. Here, basically, there was a steak on a plate, and it was served on like this metal plate, which apparently was hot enough to burn somebody's arm. Which surprised me that steak is served like that in Japan. I don't know if that's anywhere.
I mean, don't forget that they often do that when they bring it to your table still sizzling
That's
from
true.
the oven, for
Yeah, no,
example.
it's true.
But not normally steak,
No.
necessarily.
But, he couldn't eat anything, so that was already weird.
he was just drinking.
Yeah, but how we had to prove that he was already basically dead while dying by the time he was shot was because he had a burn wound on his wrist of where his arm had touched the boiling plate.
Yeah.
And not a sound was heard.
I see, yes.
But he had a horrible death as well, so she really... that was not a quick and painless death.
Poor Iris.
Yeah. So I hope that we don't have to bring this to Iris at some point. I just hope it's not her father somehow.
Yeah, I'm kind of still half hoping that it's a different John H. Wilson.
Yeah. So yeah, the fact that the bitch got killed, probably good.
Yeah.
Because I have a feeling she would just be able to walk free.
Potentially, yeah.
Because it's like, well, this is otherwise going to cause like problems between our countries because it's such a loaded case. Oh well.
Also, like, this is a problem between two English people, though. Because, she killed an English person on Japanese soil, though.
Yeah, and of course, originally she was trying to frame a Japanese person to start shit between the countries.
And the Japanese person would be... Mr. Naruhodo-san.
Yeah, maybe he shouldn't have just randomly picked up a fucking gun.
Yeah, well, we're all out there picking up random shit and being like, oh no, this is something... Yeah, anyway.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, sorry.
What kind of a future can a country like that have? That's why I did it. I did what our pathetic leaders didn't have the guts to do. Slap bang in the middle of that charming lady's back. I plunged the blade of sweet justice right in there.
Okay.
As someone who spends his life seeing that the truth is told, I feel really, really awful about giving false information in my testimony before. But as it turns out, there was somebody else who had it in for the victim and got to her before me.
Yeah, that's, as you say, a very normal thing to say.
That's right, you guessed it. That pretty little student girl. Now there's a woman after my own heart.
You're implicating Ray again.
She's the one who gave the poison to the English woman and ended her pitiful existence. And suddenly, snap! This journo here is off the hook.
The argument is sound. Certainly.
Not.
If the witness had administered the poison himself, he need only have waited for it to take effect.
Yeah, but it was experimental. He didn't know it was going to work.
No. Subsequently, stabbing the victim in the back would have been entirely nonsensical.
And therefore, this reporter had nothing to do with the poisoning.
Yes, it's all quite logical.
That's right, it is logical and true. I'm glad you've all seen the light. Justice at last.
This is unbelievable.
It is.
Uh-huh. And after I'd made so much progress in proving his guilt, is he going to get away with it now? think of Kazuma-sama and Naruhodo-san. They never stopped looking for a way forward until the judge's final gavel.
Very well then, counsel. Proceed with what I assume to be your final cross-examination in this trial. I sure hope so.
Mm-hmm. Yes, Your Excellency. Remind me that I don't want to give these hoarse voices to anyone who has a lot of talking, because it hurts.
I didn't think he was going to.
Me
do
neither.
So much talking.
Me neither.
He's like,
so much talking.
I am never going to shut up ever again.
Yeah, so many words.
Complete innocence.
Complete innocence.
Oh yes, I stabbed the Englishwoman, and it's that very fact that proves I'm innocent.
Hold it!
So, you do admit that you had murderous intentions towards Miss Brett, then?
Ha! The woman's very existence offended my sense of justice.
Your sense of... He's claiming some sort of righteous indignation.
She was pure evil. A
was.
cold-blooded killer who committed murder right here on our empire's soil. But did our good-for-nothing government do anything? Not a chance. So I had to step in.
The fact she was all like, "It's fine. I can just go back to work."
Tee-hee, what poison, uwu?
Fly the flag of justice. Put things right for the people. Yes, it was my civic duty. That's what drove me to do it.
So, in summary, murderous intentions, then?
Whatever you want to call it, the point is this. That Englishwoman was a blight, so I had to do what was right for society.
Yet a real wrong was done by the student girl in the dock, a crime for which she must pay.
Obviously, because the poisoning was nothing to do with me at all. Of course, why would I have bothered to stab the woman if I'd already poisoned her? When I heard the student...
Hang on.
6.
You didn't press him, did you?
Oh wait, no.
On
Oh
that
shit.
previous one.
Oh shit. Sorry. Yeah.
Did you say 6? Why did you say 6?
I know it's still on 5. He crashed his.
Oh,
his-
pencil.
But that was still number.
Nah.
That was number
See,
6 though.
you still maintain that you didn't give the poison to the victim.
Obviously. That'd be like putting a belt on your trousers when you're already wearing braces like these.
Please don't indicate them. Thank you.
The accused administered the poison, following which this witness stabbed the victim. An unforgivable act, certainly, but not one of murder. That crime rests on the accused's shoulders. That is how the law works, you see, yokel. Who knows, you may even learn something here today.
2 consecutive attempts on her life in the space of minutes. Quite a day for the victim. Wow.
Do
Judge,
something
please.
that evil and you've got it coming. That's how the law works. The law of reckoning.
That's not the kind of law this court upholds.
You will reiterate what you were why you were compelled to stab the victim then, witness.
That's still
7.
pencil number 5, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
When I heard the student girl and that pompous English murderer arguing, it got my goat.
Hold it!
What exactly were they arguing about?
About what happened in that restaurant 9 months ago, that's what.
Awful.
The student girl was laying it to the Englishwoman for killing her beloved mentor, Dr. Wilson.
Yes, John H. Wilson, a professor of medicine, invited here from England by Professor Mikotoba, no less.
Right. But the Englishwoman just jeered.
Her case was to be heard by the British Consular Court in Shanghai. However, there is little doubt that she would have simply been acquitted and sent back to her homeland a free woman.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so it seems like somebody who's already got a justice boner on would have done a killing. To be fair, if that's what was going to happen, it's probably quite good that he did, but at the same time, that's still murder.
So I find out it's Saseki-san all along.
Potentially, could have been.
I mean, he was also outside, wasn't he?
He was out.
He was
allegedly,
catching crabs.
he was catching crabs.
Yeah. Can we prove that?
It was eating that student girl up inside. You could see it. I really felt for her.
Actually, didn't the detective corroborate that he was catching crabs outside?
Oh yeah, he did.
Hold it.
I can't. I can't stand here and listen to this tripe.
Ray!
Young girl, you stand accused here. You can't just blurt out whenever you feel like it.
Oops.
No, you can't.
No, you can't. Sorry, but I'm in the middle of some very important testimony here. Just keep quiet and listen.
But this awful man is making all of this up. Susato, please. Shh. Ray, please.
Ray, please.
You have to make them listen. Return to the dock at once, Mambami-san. We are in the middle of a cross-examination.
Hold it.
Like nobody's calling
No,
out.
right?
Who the fuck is Susato?
It's a nickname from our school days.
Shh.
Your Excellency, please, I implore you. That journalist is clearly not a trustworthy witness.
Exactly. He's a filthy, rotten, black-hearted, bigoted, dirty, great peeping Tom.
What? Take it easy there.
Wait. He's doing the doohickey.
Was he?
He was doing the face. He
Oh.
wasn't doing like a thingy,
No,
but he
but
was
he's-
doing the face.
Yeah, so he's being really stressed out right now.
He's being really stressed out right now. Like, I know he's been doing kind of like
The face,
the whole-
yeah.
but he was like properly doing his like
Yeah.
face.
Please, I really think the court should hear what the defendant has to say.
So I wonder if this is going to trigger how to do that.
Potentially,
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, alright. Oh, have we already done that?
No, I
this
don't
case?
think so. Not on this
Guess not.
game. No.
Okay.
Your Excellency, I see no need whatsoever to entertain the accused remarks.
I will grant a request of the defence.
But, Your Excellency!
This is likely to be the final cross-examination of these proceedings. As such, I believe it will be ill-advised to stifle the defendant's obvious
Yeah,
concerns.
this isn't British court, so we don't get fireworks or a summation examination.
God, you're right! No summation examination! I'm so sad I can't pit the jury against each other.
Yeah,
It's
it's so weird, but I kind of like the mechanics
Yeah.
still.
So, whilst recognising that this contravenes regular protocol, I hereby call upon the defendants to speak. Oh! Thanks so much, Your Excellency.
Oh, good, I get to rest.
For 5 seconds.
Yeah.
It was nothing to do with Dr. Wilson. We were discussing the stolen poison. We can press her.
Hold it!
The stolen poison that killed the victim, you mean?
The poison. The victim for the,
The victim's
poison.
poison.
Yep. I suspect her of being the one to, I suspected her of being the one to steal it. I mean, just think about how she killed Dr. Wilson. That's true. Additionally, Miss Bratt certainly had knowledge of the new poison. But surely it will be no easy task to steal a highly secret toxin being developed for the government.
This is great. I can just sit here. Woo!
Indeed, all visitors in the laboratory are thoroughly searched when they leave. Yeah, this is the pen thing.
Yeah.
Even if a thief managed to avoid being seen by myself or a colleague, getting the poison out would be very difficult.
That's true. I pestered Professor Mikotoba until he agreed to show me the poison when I visited his laboratory.
Why
It
would
was
you want
out
to see?
that day. It was out
Yeah.
that day. But as I left, I was searched from top to tail.
Miss Bratt rather bluntly revealed the existence of the toxin we've been developing, you see. And since Yuzaki-san expressed such an interest in it, I felt unable to refuse. Obviously, I gave nothing away, other than the fact that it was an extremely potent substance.
Japan won't have a jury until 2019, where Phoenix Wright somehow convinces them to finally allow juries again. What?
What?
Well,
I'm very ashamed of myself. It's just that I've had a singularly terrible experience with a deadly poison. I wanted to look my old enemy in the eye. Surely you can understand that. What deadly poison has he had an experience with? His case had nothing to do with poison.
no, what has he been doing?
The woman didn't even die. What happened?
Maybe Physix tried to poison him.
Right? Or is he referring to maybe he got like food poisoning on the way on the boat on the way back?
Oh my god, that would be his fucking shit. So I was like, I nearly died of poison! The British tried to poison me. I don't know. And then I gave him like, I don't fucking know, blood pudding. Anyway, to find out if my suspicions were true, I confronted Miss Brett about the poison. I told her that if there were to be an incident involving it somehow, it wouldn't just be the university. The military would be dragged into it, the whole government even. It would be a complete disaster.
He couldn't stomach baked beans. That's mean. I like baked beans.
Yeah. Can you imagine, like, a Japanese person from that era being able...
No.
But
No,
then
I
again,
can't.
they eat, like, fermented
beans. That is true. Stringy,
So-
fermented.
But they're a
weird...
different kind of bean, I
Yeah,
think.
they are. I don't know what kind.
Actually, speaking of,
Mm.
where did we get the beans? Like, have beans always been a thing we had over
I
here?
don't know.
Because they very much feel like a thing that we got from the south.
Because they're like a brown bean, aren't they?
Yeah. Like in the
know, I
Netherlands, we
don't
primarily
know.
eat brown beans, which are difficult to get in the UK. I don't understand why.
Yeah, no, they're
It's
impossible
all
to
white
get.
beans
Yeah,
here.
because I adored the brown beans that you get
Yeah.
in the jars. Also, I
Yeah.
miss so much getting vegetables in jars.
When it's not like the sad tins that you get
Yeah,
in the UK,
yeah.
which just have
But
like
just-
zero nutritional value
Mm.
left.
Beans in water. It's just
Mhm.
it's so good.
Mm-hmm.
Jars of them, and I miss them more than anything. Phoenix
Yeah.
did it in 2026, not 2019. Wow. Wow, Dio. Wow.
Wow,
How could you?
we only have to wait 2 more years
Yeah.
before Japan gets its juries.
I think that's neat.
That's
No.
good job, Phoenix.
Beans.
Yeah, I miss brown beans so much.
Every time I think about beans, though.
Well, this
oh,
is yeah. Sorry, you first.
No, I was thinking that little rhyme that we used to sing when we were kids. Like, it's such a stupid thing, and this just proves that, like, life with handheld computing game devices and mobile phones is better. Because when I was a kid, the highlight of entertainment was somebody singing, "Beans, beans, good for the heart. The more you eat, the more you fart. The more you fart, the more you eat. The more you sit in the toilet seat." But every time I say beans, I think about that stupid little thing. Because I'm old and entertainment wasn't really a thing that existed when I
Yeah.
was a kid. It's because beans have got fibre in them, innit?
Yeah,
They're good for your digestion, innit? But they
Mhm.
also make you a little bit flatulent.
yeah. Anyway,
Times.
and how did Miss Brett respond to your concerns? She just curled those beautiful lips of hers and said she didn't know the first thing about it. In English, actually.
With beans, we've definitely had them for a long time, but I suspect it's a case of time immemorial trading. I think
yeah.
you've got a point there.
Mhm.
Yeah, quite.
Trading.
Trading. Mhm.
Yes. Mini Memo-san, one small question, if you don't mind.
I do mind. Can't you see I'm busy?
Clearly, you were outside the beach hut listening in whilst the defendant and Miss Brett were conversing. Presumably, then, it was you who wrote this article about what you'd heard? Exclusive! Deadly poison stolen from Yume Medical Research Laboratory. That story was published in this morning's edition of Shoyu News. The details are too accurate for it to have been written by anyone else.
Sorry, don't know what you're talking about.
Yes, look at this. The entire article. It's almost what I said to Miss Brett, word for word.
So you're not even a good journalist. Well, Minimomo-san?
As a journo and as a citizen of a free country, I don't have to reveal my sources. That's a founding principle of many memoism.
was clearly right about this. That reporter did write that article, and he based it on what he overheard from outside the hut. The details of the poison article have been updated in the court record.
So, that's what it's all about. You were trying to cover up the fact that you were listening in. Okay, I'm gonna check what the newspaper says
yeah.
though. Examine.
Following a lecture at Yume by Soseki Natsume on the 11th of August, it's come to light that a very disturbing incident took place. A deadly poison being secretly developed in the university's forensic science laboratory was stolen. Even the smallest amount entering the body, either via the mouth or via a wound from a poison-laced blade, would prove fatal in minutes. Current methods cannot detect the newly developed chemical. The university would have to be consulted. Onset of symptoms occurs in minutes, starting with impaired breathing and ending with acute contraction of pupils prior to death. Such symptoms will be suggestive of this toxin. It's apparently an entirely new synthesis of alkaloids and rumoured to have been commissioned by the military. I think it might be that that bit, Medimo-san based it on information he gleaned by eavesdropping. He literally states the two ways he did it. Yeah, exactly. And we've already investigated the blade, so it has to be via ingestion.
Mm-hmm. That's why he came up with that stinking story about me arguing with her.
Shut up! My stories never stink! Look, whatever you say, little girl, it doesn't alter the facts. Your Excellency, there's something I want to say and I want it to go on record.
This man is giving Van Zieks a run for his money when it comes to his chalices versus like these
Chalices
pencils.
versus pencils, yeah. He's obviously just nicked them from the office stationery cupboard.
Yeah, you're right. Very well, you may amend your formal testimony.
Maybe he claims them on expenses.
There it is.
The point is, if you had poisoned someone, there'd be no reason to then go and stab the person as well.
Perhaps you doubted the efficacy of the poison and sought to make sure your victim would die.
That's all stung.
What?
That would be like pouring pepper on your Chinese ramen before you'd even tasted it. Completely reckless.
No boots and no throwing bottles. Yeah, but not at pencils.
Although, it might surprise you to learn that I'm a bit of an impetuous pepper pourer as it happens.
Once the victim had taken the poison, she would have been only minutes away from death. And yet, this man then proceeded to stab her in the back as well. There has to have been a good reason for that.
If it was the reporter who gave the poison to Miss Brett, then clearly he must have done it prior to Ray entering the hut.
Yes, that's undeniable.
But between him leaving the hut and the victim being stabbed, there was one very crucial change in the situation.
Sorry, what change?
The reporter overheard the conversation between Ray and the Englishwoman.
Ah, yes, that's it. And that's when Memo-san first found out the exact nature of the poison he'd used. That could be the key here.
If the victim had unwittingly taken the poison already, the reporter would have had no reason to stab her. On the face of it, that logic sounds entirely reasonable. But there's no
question that this man was responsible for Miss Brett's murder.
Ha! If you could think of a plausible explanation as to why he might have stabbed her even after the poisoning, I feel sure that everything would drop into place. That's what we should be looking for.
Yes, I agree. And in order to do that, I must try to glean more information.
Well, we're back
Can
here.
we look at the court recording now?
Absolutely, sorry.
It's deadly in small doses. So, arguably, unless he had an even smaller dose.
Oh, which do you want to?
Article, please. Because he heard their argument.
Mm-hmm.
By the mouth of a wound. Current methods cannot detect.
Mm-hmm. Mikotoba is going to teach us a little board
A
game.
little board game, yeah.
Hmm.
So symptoms occurs in minutes.
Yeah, I don't see anything.
Maybe she wasn't breathing funny. And he was like, uh-oh, better stab her.
It's true. Well, hold on. Yeah, this is the very first thing we've already discussed. So
Oh, I bothered to stab her for poisoning. I had the student go and pumpers and arguing and got my goat. Well, there's nothing to do with Dr. Wilson. We're discussing the stolen poison. Have you pressed her on that? I think you have, didn't you? Or
I
have
don't
you?
know. No.
The stolen poison that killed the victim.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, that's
The victim.
when they were
killing
talking
poison.
about the
Yeah.
the victim's
It's
poison.
true. Das nehme ich besser.
Poison for the victim.
Oh.
Indeed, or visitors. Yeah, because then thingamy.
Yeah.
Did we then press the statement after
I'm
that?
gonna find out.
Yeah, because we were also distracted by the fact that he mentions poisoning, and I don't remember anything about poisoning in the other thing. If you poison them, there'd be no reason to then go and stab the person as well. Did we press him on
I
that?
don't remember. Let's find out.
Perhaps you doubted the efficacy of the poison. Poison and sought to make sure your victim would die.
Yeah.
That's horse dung.
Yeah, we've
He
done
applied,
this too.
no. She had a chance to realise he poisoned her. Oh yeah, good point. Yeah, maybe he thought the poison would be instantaneous rather than after
I
minutes.
bet you.
Yes, that's it. The exact nature of the poison he'd used.
Hold on. Sorry for skipping through it.
Yeah, that's when he first found out the nature of the poison he'd used. Yes, that's it. After the conversation. Yeah, it's a good point though. Yeah, it's not. It could be the key here. But yeah, it's just minutes afterwards rather than instantaneous.
Yeah. Yeah, if the victim had unwillingly taken poison, yeah.
On the face of it, the logic sense, but there's no question Smell was responsible for Miss Brett's murder. Plausible explanation as to why he may have stabbed her even after the poisoning.
Oops, yeah. So, let's see.
Unless...
Unless?
I mean, because we already established that there was no poison on the blade.
Yes.
So, if that gets tested, she wasn't poisoned by it. Although, no, wait, because that actually is less advantageous for him, isn't it?
Yeah.
No reasoning with the discretion of the poison. Yeah, like, arguably it should be. Yeah, no trace of poison was found on the blade there. Okay, the poison article again, it has to be in that article. But I think it's realising a chance that he poisoned her, I think is a good point. Like a chance to talk afterwards.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe we should save again.
Okay, yeah. I will save. You're right. Sorry, I can't save from that screen.
Yeah, I wish we could test the pen, but I don't think it's going to let us test it just yet. Because we tried testing it before.
Yeah.
There's a very small amount of liquid still inside the ink reservoir. Maybe we can investigate it again.
Yeah. Oops. And take the lens lid. Open it again.
So dashing. Yeah.
But it doesn't show any of the...
It doesn't show any liquid in there, so we can't tell
No.
if it's blue or clear or
No.
what. Because that would be handy, I think.
Yeah, I think so too.
Because yeah, you could easily squeeze poison into a cup or whatever by this.
Yeah.
I reckon.
Yeah.
But yeah, like what evidence do we present to prove that he? Because like, unless we were supposed to present the just the tip, Doodles. Unless we're supposed to just present the poison article, which seems a bit heavy-handed.
That seems weird, yeah. Use one with the bullet to stab the woman if I've already poisoned her. Yeah, I think that's kind of an important one, isn't it?
Yeah, it has to be, but the pen tip. Yeah, I know what you meant. I know. But we haven't established that the pen has anything to do with it yet, other than that it's his and it proves he was in there.
Yeah.
Because it does prove he was in there, because if he never actually went in, why would she have it?
Yeah.
I mean, I think it has to be the poison article, though, given that they're talking about it. But again, it seems so heavy-handed.
Yeah, shall I just present it? See what happens on this sentence as well?
Oh, what sentence? Oh, that sentence.
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah, she was grabbing the pen.
Or shall we just hand over the pen?
Yeah, that's her telling you, but I don't know if the game wants us to do that yet.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, shall I start?
Because that's the how rather than the why.
Yeah, true. Do you want to start with the article? We were right about this before, so...
Yeah, but it just seems, like I said, given that it was just like, yes, it's in the article. Are we really supposed to present the article after they literally just said, something about the article? Although
yeah.
sometimes they're like, yes, it's in the article. Which bit of this is relevant? And then you can point at it.
Yeah.
But yeah, we did save it's true. But I think the pen is going to end up being the how. And right
Yeah.
now we're trying to work out the why
present.
thing.
Oops, I forgot.
Well, I can think of one reason. We're in a music box situation again. Yeah, you're right, though.
What?
But before I explain, I'd like you to confirm something for the court. Well done.
You were right.
Did you glean all the information for this newspaper article from what you overheard outside the hut?
You knew the paper, and I was like this sentence, I think.
Teamwork with chat too.
Yes, we did
We
it.
all did that together.
Yeah.
Good job, everybody. Of course he did. There can be no question of that. Really? Why are you weighing in on this, Shizeki-san?
Yeah, he's kind of
This
sus.
isn't great, actually.
Also, I got it. I just realized I need a new.
What?
It's no longer Hot Boss Summer officially.
No, I know. I know we need a new one.
Can't use it anymore.
Don't need to make a new banner.
Yes.
Everybody needs to help me come up with a different slogan.
Nothing weird has happened yet. So far,
Yeah.
it's like.
I mean, like Poison Pen Autumn doesn't really have the same kind of ring to it. Oh, you did you?
I'm stealing ideas.
Yeah, I think you're right. We need to get to England, see what Fun Seeks does. Come on. Yeah. After all, when we were all in the laboratory together, all we were told is that it was a terrible toxin. That's why he's weighing in. Gotcha. And there is one more important fact to consider. Yeah, catching the brainwaves. Yeah. According to the witness, Mbani-san's verbal attack against the victim began as soon as she entered the hut. In other words, it would have been impossible for her to have slipped the poison into Miss Brett's drink. Allegedly.
Objection! Where are you going with this, counsel?
Every little time when I'm trying to have a fucking sip, you're like, objection!
Yeah. Memo-san has made it quite clear that he observed every single thing that happened in the beach hut. If the defendant has somehow found an opportunity, this man would have seen it.
I just realized, well, her father is currently in the mentor role in an Ace Attorney game.
To be fair though, so was kind of she at one point, sort of, except no.
No, except it was
Oh
her-
wait, except
yeah.
it was Kazumi-san last
Yes.
time, oh dear. Uh-oh.
Sorry, you could
Uh-oh.
hang in there. You
That's
survived.
not normally a good position to be in, is it? Oh boy. Oh no. Normally that's... Oh yeah, Phoenix did do it, right?
It's true. It's true.
Then his big titty waifu didn't make it, and that's about all the other things I know.
Yeah, he was Apollo's mentor. See, I haven't actually played the Apollo games.
Apollo Justice stuff.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
I looked at his character design, it's like, I have not played. I'll get to it eventually. At the time, I was like, no.
Oh boy.
Even though they're supposed to be pretty decent.
I think. I mean, there's at least they're probably going to be entertaining.
Yes.
So. I did read this. Just.
Yeah. I forgot.
Ah!
Which means that Miss Brett couldn't have imbibed poison while the defendant was present. In fact, it must have been administered to her before Membami-san entered the hut. Yes, very articulate. But I can't articulately put these things. When I walked into the hut, I immediately started to press Miss Brett about the poison.
At which point, Memo-san overheard some worrying information.
Worrying information? What worrying information?
The information which he subsequently included in his newspaper article, namely that the poison was being developed in strict secrecy and that it couldn't be readily obtained.
Absolutely.
Ah.
In fact, that's quite an understatement. The only possible place it could come from is my lab.
I see, that makes sense. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
I just figured that he was trying to frame what's-her-face, so
Yeah.
of course he would, like, steal it, because how could he get his hands
Yeah,
on it, kind of thing.
Quite.
And furthermore, anyone afflicted by the poison would exhibit telltale signs in death.
The extreme constrictions of the pupils. Yes, it's quite stark when you see it. There are other poisons that show similar symptoms, but not among new substances that are undetectable.
In other words, it would be clear that the victim's life had been ended by the use of this particular poison, which would reduce the number of suspects to only a handful of people.
Ah! Everyone in my laboratory is aware of the unique properties of the toxin we've been developing. None of them would be foolish enough to attempt to use it for some nefarious deed. Membami-san being no exception.
Therefore, we can conclude that whoever administered this unique poison to the victim was a layperson, unaware of its telltale properties.
Ha!
In
In other words, someone like you, written memo.
You did it! You defeated the written memo.
It was you who stole the poison from the laboratory that day.
Dramatic.
Dramatic. And it was you who administered it to the unwitting victim. But you quickly realized that was a terrible mistake.
Because the poison caused such unusual symptoms and was so traceable.
As you listened in from the far side of the beach hut's thin walls, you learnt of these facts. But you'd already given the victim the poison at that point. It was too late. So you hatched a plan to disguise your mistake. A plan that involved stabbing the victim in the back through the reed screen.
But what good could that possibly do?
Isn't it obvious, Counsel? The plan was to kill Miss Brett before the poison could take effect.
Once in the blood, the poison causes the onset of pupil constriction. But he had hoped to precipitate, thank you, the victim's death before that happened, hadn't he?
Exactly. Because without any revealing signs of the new secret poison's use, no one would ever have suspected.
That is extraordinary.
Yes, the effects of the poison meant it would be too easily identified, so the killer had to mask its use, which he attempted to do by plunging a knife into the middle of the victim's back.
Order! 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 The argument presented is sound. The court is satisfied that it warrants consideration. Does the prosecution have a counter-argument it wishes to put forward?
Well, there are a number of... yes, I counter completely.
Objection!
The prosecution's evasive response clearly shows that in much the same way as he nurtures the remnants of his top knot, he is clinging to lost hope.
Wow.
Wow.
Lost hope?
Is this gonna fall off? I wonder.
I'm expecting it to
Hold
fall
it.
off, honestly.
Uh-oh.
Ah, you pathetic, useless, fallen samurai!
Fallen? Who are you calling fallen? My burgeoning
What now is on the
I don't know.
rise?
I don't need a counter-argument.
What are you talking about?
It should be blatantly obvious. I stole the poison, you say. Gave it to the victim, you say. Stabbed her, you say. Lots of fine theories, but I don't need a counter-argument because you don't have an argument yourself. Where's your evidence? Yes, you make it all sound so plausible, don't you? But without evidence, it means nothing.
Pen.
Gotta test the pen. That's not.
Test the
No,
pen.
that's
Whereas I base my news on facts.
bleeding gums. Yeah.
Yeah.
Facts? What the fuck? Sorry! I'm sorry, the judge is fucking comment here! This is the Windows tag. Yeah, Windows
Facts? What are facts?
Facts? What do you mean? Explain yourself!
Yeah, I love this little window tax moment in chat. Oh.
I mean, what the professor said earlier in his trial. It's all here in my many memos.
Wow, that's so on the nose. Wow.
He said the thing. Every word, every slip of the tongue, all noted. That's what the Shoyu News is famous for. It's that power of the printed word.
I'm gonna need to get my the inhaler. I've got a really blocked nose. And
Oh
it's
no!
really bothering me.
Did you take your
I
pill?
did take my Benadryl, thank you.
Well, I'll wait a second. Oh,
No, it's cool. I've been using menthol to like try and clear it, but all it's done is make my eyes water. So I think.
oh my god. Just saying, if you needed to feed your Tamagotchi, you still
Ooh,
have time
Thank you.
while we're here.
She's probably okay, but
But surely it would be no easy task to steal a highly secret toxin being developed by the government. Indeed, all visitors to the laboratory are thoroughly searched when they leave. Even if a thief managed to avoid being seen by myself or a colleague, getting the poison out would be very difficult.
Pen. Yes! How's that then? Blown the story wide open? See, I, written many memo, a mere reporter from the Shoyu News. Couldn't possibly have stolen that poison from the professor's laboratory.
Ah!
But there can't be any question of it. He must have stolen the poison that day. He stole it and used it to kill. And if that's the case, as you've identified, the poison itself is the definitive evidence we need. Because whoever stole it from the laboratory that day is the true culprit here.
What's your point, you annoyingly handsome country bumpkin?
Okay, wow. My point is this. There is one way that you, Manimemo-san, could have stolen the poison that day.
I have heard enough verbal conjecture now. Thank you. What the court must be shown is evidence. Bitch doesn't know
Now
what
you
facts
understand
are.
what facts are.
Evidence, facts.
Yeah.
What proof do you have that this witness stole the poison on the day in question?
It's a facsimile.
Can we just
Can,
examine?
please? Yeah, can we actually? Can we try somehow?
I don't think. I'm just going to present it.
Yeah, I think we have to.
I'll say.
don't- yeah,
people
say-
don't have to freak out
'Cause
because
it's
you all want to play it
Gotta
safe.
be, but like, because like with the smoke gun, you used to be able to use like Iris's
Yeah.
blood smoke gun.
Yeah.
We could actually use it on stuff, right?
Mhm.
But the proof, Your Excellency, is this pudding.
Ah.
Fountain pen.
A pudding? How can that possibly be relevant?
These magical pens somehow seem to have enough ink to write many thousands of kanji characters. I believe they arrived in our country for the first time some 15 years ago now.
Ma, I swear by a weasel hair calligraphy brush and nothing else. These newfangled pens are merely a fad.
Well, as a forward-thinking man of words, obviously I love my fountain pen. Suck up a soupçon of sumptuous ink and one's work is a wash with words in the blink of an eye. That's right. Fountain pens have a small reservoir in the barrel, into which ink is sucked up through the nib of the pen in order to write with later.
What does all this talking of sucking up ink have?
And just as it's possible to suck ink up into the reservoir, it's also possible to eject it through the nib again, of course.
My word. Can this really be?
Well, Minimemo-san? When you saw the deadly poison before your eyes in the laboratory that day, you used your fountain pen, your very lifeblood, to steal some of it, didn't you? By siphoning the poison up through the nib and into the pen's reservoir. Gah! You need to hold that up longer.
More absurdity! That never happened!
True, we've heard that there were procedures in place to prevent thefts like this from the laboratory. But would anyone have thought to look inside a fountain pen, of all places?
All of us.
Yeah, all of we
us.
would. We'd have just been like, excuse me, you've got a reservoir in that pen. You want to like suck some of that and see what happens, or?
No, I'm a little ashamed to say that, for fear of offending our guests, such a detailed search would not have been concluded.
Sure, for fear of offending your guests.
It's okay.
Just steal a random classified poison, but we don't want to offend anybody.
Well, this is quite startling, I must say.
I remind the court that this pen was found in the clutches of the victim when she died. In other words, it was dropped at the scene by Minimemo-san. So the crucial question is, when exactly was the pen dropped?
Are you suggesting?
The natural conclusion is that in your haste to act whilst the victim was distracted for a moment, you dropped the pen after you emptied the poison from it into her glass.
Very important.
Very important.
There could be any number of alternative explanations. For example, the witness could have been using his pen to write down details of his conversation with the victim. And when shocked by one of her outrageous answers, the pen fell from his quivering hand.
Objection!
No, that can't be. If it was, how do you explain why the pen was devoid of ink?
What?
As you can see for yourself, if you examine the evidence, there would appear to be no ink present in the reservoir. What newspaper reporter goes to interview someone with nothing in his pen? No, the pen was dropped after the poison that filled its reservoir had been emptied into the victim's glass.
Witness, What do you have to say in your defense?
So this is how our modern justice system works, is it? So what if the ink in my pen runs dry? So what if my pencil snaps?
Huh?
Alright, fucking Wolverine over here.
I can always claw my way back into the game. I have plenty in reserve. Ah!
Whoa, whoa! Those are deadly, mate!
Ah, holy moly. Fancy's got nothing on this guy.
You claim I sucked the poison up into my pen? That's wild speculation, nothing more. If you thought you could bring down a fine upstanding citizen with a trick like that, think again.
We got time for Professor Dad to administrate the reagent to the pen, yeah.
It looks as if, though, it's going to take one final decisive blow to finish this matter. As I see it, the situation is now very simple. It rests upon whether or not the witness did indeed steal the poison on the day in question. And therefore, it all depends upon whether or not the defense can prove that he did with evidence.
Ha! No such evidence could possibly exist.
Objection!
Many memos, Sam. This is how our modern justice system works.
What?
In the courtroom, evidence is everything. Something you would do well to remember. Because we are well we are well past the point of speculation at this stage, I assure you.
Very well, then. I call upon the defense to present the aforementioned evidence.
This is it then. This will be the final piece in the puzzle. The defense can prove by means of this item that it was the witness's pen that was used to steal the poison. I mean, by means of this item, I assume.
Do we give like the little
Like, can we actually check the reagent?
Yeah, I want to
again?
know, like...
So, I'm so sorry. I'm really, for some reason, my nose is really blocked up all of a sudden. I don't get it. It's like, hello. So, sorry for the weird snuffling noises. Okay, we've
no,
checked
that's
the
nothing
label.
new.
There's
No,
nothing
we
there.
don't
Okay,
seem to be able to, like...
so I guess we check the pen again?
Yeah, let's
But, like,
examine.
prove by means of this item that it was the witness's pen that
Yeah, I
was used
think
to
it's
steal
this.
the poison.
I'm gonna present
So I
this.
think it has to be this one. It has to be, right?
Counsel, what is in that bottle?
This bottle contains the unique chemical reagent that can identify the poison in question.
Yes, that poison is an entirely new synthesis of alkaloids developed by my colleagues and I. It will be impossible to detect traces of it by any other method.
Or, from another perspective, simply with this chemical reagent, anybody at all could check for traces of the poison.
A reagent? What?
1 drop of the contents of this bottle on the tip of your fountain pen, Memo-san, is all it will take to solve this case beyond all reasonable doubt.
No, you can't. I won't.
Your crimes are bad enough, but at least know when to admit defeat.
Your Excellency, the defense requests permission to carry out the test on the fountain pen at once.
Here.
Oh!
Oh my! Okay, no wonder his camera's broken.
This isn't my fault. The Empire drove me to this. Trying to hold its head high as a civilized. I can't read all that. All in the name of justice, righteousness, many memu.
Oh!
Wow!
Susato, with me! Oh my god.
I'm there!
Oh!
Yeah! Oh my god.
Did I do it right? That was a Susato takedown, wasn't it?
Not quite. That was a Ryutaro
Oh
takedown.
my fucking god.
Yeah, and he's dead. Oof. The instant the first drop of the reagent touched the nib of the fountain pen, it was clear to everyone present.
When I saw it there in the lab, the poison, the devil got hold of me and I decided to do it on a whim. I excused myself and emptied all the ink down the sink in the bathroom, washing the reservoir out carefully.
And then you waited for an opportunity to suck up some of the poison, didn't you? Into your fountain pen.
Yes, that's right.
Answer me one thing, Mani Memo-san. Why did you steal it? And for what purpose?
Isn't it obvious? To find out what it was made of and expose it in an article. I mean, it was a secret project after all. Too juicy for a journo like me to pass up.
Then why did the English woman end up dead?
I went into that hut intending to quiz her on her situation, that's all. As a reporter, a known killer, enjoying full freedom, evading justice by leaving the country. I told her what I thought about it. And she just laughed in my face.
Oh, what's this? A Far Eastern caveman purporting to practice journalism?
We know
That's how the
she's
British
English.
speak, yeah. We know she's English because she speaks like this, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Really? You must learn the difference between reporting and listening at doorways, you ignorant plebeian.
What did you call me?
As a cocktail and wine,
No,
honestly.
right? This country, with its pretensions to a justice system, to a free press, it's really very depressing. Southern US accents are more similar to former UK accents. It's also true, but they're also very similar to, like, Dutch.
Yeah.
You see, our superior ways in the West, yet you lack the mental capacity to emulate them. Get out of here, you oaf. Get out and crawl back into the cave you came from. Sorry.
That's when I remembered about the deadly poison I happened to have in me pen at the time.
Like, he didn't just put it away or anything, he just took it with him to the beach.
Yeah, right.
Like, he just left it in there.
Yeah,
Like,
that's what you do.
why did he not refill his fucking pen?
Well, he's stolen it that morning.
I mean, I guess, yeah.
That
but at the
morning,
same
he
time-
just followed them there
Yeah, I suppose I
from
would have...
the lab.
Yeah, but I guess I
So,
could...
what's
yeah,
he gonna
no,
do?
You're right. Yeah. What a terrible tale.
In my head, I knew I should just get out of there as quickly as possible, but I couldn't. I couldn't let her get away with what she'd done when she clearly had no remorse at all. Oh, I suppose it was my journo spirit getting all fired up.
I'd like to ask you something.
Yes.
You often talk about justice. But surely, as a journalist, you could have used other means to deliver the justice you sought.
There's no justice in the press.
Sorry?
After that trial 9 months ago, I kept digging and digging to find out what had happened in that courtroom. And finally, I discovered the truth. It was a cover-up, that's what it was.
A cover-up? What do you mean?
I would remind you of your position, witness. Be careful of what you say.
Oh, come on. Doesn't it strike you as strange? We're suddenly not allowed to convict a foreign national? Consider consular jurisdiction should never have come into it. And yet that puffed up Englishwoman was gonna sail away into the sunset a free woman. The only possible explanation is that behind the scenes, some deal had gone down between Britain and Japan.
What sort of deal?
I'd done my research, done up all the dirt. It was all ready to be published. But you know what happened? The editor just tore the article up.
It came under pressure from the government, you mean?
If our government is gonna let criminals walk free, if they're gonna crush the free press, then what choice do I have but to see that justice is done myself?
Let's not forget, Memo-san, that you committed murder yourself, and you tried to lay the blame at the defendant's door. I'm sorry, but you're no better than Jose Brett.
What?
The truth is, you have no right to talk about justice at all.
I suppose.
Where are my fireworks though?
Yeah, right. Also, there's no breakdown. He had like the tiniest of breakdowns
they
and then
don't do
tried
it.
to Wolverine his pencils.
Yeah, that's
But
the best we get now. It was appear. Oh, sorry.
I was going to say, if it wasn't for the fact that he tried to happily frame somebody else,
Yeah. But,
I feel differently. On the other hand, he did at least. I mean, she deserved to be punished for it, so
Yeah.
it's not 100%.
No, but he did
But
try.
he did
to
try and frame
a
someone
friend,
else.
So, it's like,
So- His Wolverine one was down his breakdown to you. Okay, that's fair.
yeah.
I'm just sad that we've had one breakdown
Also, do
so
not
far.
forget, he was swinging his camera around
That's true.
like a
He
madman.
did.
We
No,
had to
you're right.
Susato take. I mean,
he did do that. They did have to Susato take down him.
Yeah.
Ryutaro take
Yeah.
down him.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know. You said that the only person so far that's had like a proper Ace Attorney breakdown was Jose Brett, and she did that off camera.
yeah, she did. She
For
did.
us, anyway. He's no government making deals with other governments about convicted murderers, though. No, also true.
No. Yeah. It would appear that we have reached a conclusion in this trial at last. Are you going to keep saying that, mate? Like,
Yeah.
Counsel for the defense, Ryutaru Naruhodo.
Oh, yes. Sorry, Your Excellency. Just musing in a manly way here.
It's almost unbelievable that in your first experience, that this is your first experience of the Supreme Court. It was an excellent performance. In truth, it very much reminded me of your cousin's exploits.
Oh, Naruhodo-san. Ryunosuke, you mean?
The way he handled the trial 9 months ago, and the way you handled this one. It gives me hope that we are genuinely entering a new era of justice in this land.
That's very flattering, Your Excellency.
Yay.
Aircraft noises.
Hearing the defense you put forward today made me feel most keenly that the future of our justice system will be forged by you and your contemporaries.
I imagine he doesn't get that many really exciting cases
No.
like this. Thank you.
So, Prosecutor Aouchi, do you have any final thoughts? He's going to carve his
He is, isn't he? His hope. Prosecutor Aouchi?
I, Takatsuchi of the Aouchi clan, have been bested by a callow youth not once now, but twice.
So do not yourself.
If there was any shred of my former self left, it has withered and died here today.
Gosh, your journey to cultural enlightenment sure took a while, didn't it?
Tess, please do not do that.
Silence! Rather than living on in shame, I will end it all now with this blade.
Yeah, we all know, like, he's just gonna carve his little...
Yeah.
For that is the true path to Ouchieism.
Ouchie-ism?
One hopes that's the only way in which he'll be modelling himself after the witness.
Sprig of my top knot. The time is right for farewell. Hope is lost forever.
I assume that was a haiku. Maybe. Oh. You need to suggest that to Fun 6, yes.
Sixpence not about his descent, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Now, in regard to the defendant, Ray Membami-san. Yes, Your Excellency? I have reached my final verdict. I hereby find you not guilty. Fireworks! Oh, we get
flower
Sakura!
petals. Okay.
Oh, flower.
Yay! Sakura petals.
It's kind of nicer than fireworks, if
I
I'm
mean, if
perfectly
less
honest.
set the courtroom on fiery than fireworks. That's true. Yippee!
Court is adjourned. Yay!
Woohoo! Yaha! Woohoo! Now we can go to England.
Maybe.
Somehow. We do not have court fireworks, but we have the grace of spring. Yeah. Beautiful.
In August.
In August. Yeah, well, they bottle them, I think.
Yeah.
That's the power of the court system. The power of justice! Supreme Court of Judicature. Defendants.
Antechamber 3.
Wow. It's over. My heart is still pounding in my chest, though. It's all I can do just to stay standing. Lawyers have such great responsibility, such a great burden to bear. Don't they, Naruhodo-san?
He's still alive though, so stop
Yeah,
acting
right,
like he isn't.
acting like...
Susato! Oh, yeah, okay, Susato. Thank you so much. You are so dashing in there.
Ray and Father.
Honestly, I'm so touched by everything you've... Oh no, I think I'm going to cry.
It wasn't easy, but together we made it. I was on the verge of tears at the end too. Sometimes I can still hear his voice, yeah.
The only reason I'm still here is because of you.
Oh no, I can't take all the credit. It took courage to tell the truth in there. You did wonderfully, Ray. So I would have to say that the congratulations belong to you.
Susato, don't be so standoffish.
Sorry?
We're friends, equals, and the trial's over. So no more of this formal super humility nonsense. It's time to celebrate with swagger. To throw caution to the wind.
Caution to the... What?
I'm the great defense lawyer, Ryotaro Naruhodo, and I'm taking you out to a milk bar tomorrow. Or something.
Oh, right. I see. I'll, think about it, Ray.
At any rate, we really knocked the wind out of that horrid man, and it felt so good. Okay, just ask her out already.
Fanfic. Yes, it was satisfying.
It really was. Is there anybody else we could throw together? I hope you're not looking at me, Ray. Oh, my goodness! No, of course not! Of course not!
Ah, there it is at last. Ray's lovely smile. Fanfic.
You fought for your friend to the very last. As your father, I'm extremely proud of you, defense attorney Ryotaro Naruhodo.
Thank you, but I couldn't have done it without your help. Anyway, it's time to bid farewell to Ryotaro, I think. I shall miss him in a way, but it's back to Susato Mikotoba now.
Goodbye, right? It was nice having you for 5 seconds. So, I'll never see him again then. Oh, a terrible shame. What?
What is happening? Ah, Suzuki-san, and And Inspector Hosonaga, I do hope you've been keeping well.
Is that really you?
Yes, I had to change my appearance for, well, obvious reasons, I hope. But it's me.
I like how it's like, this is
You were
not
just standing in the
Susato.
court, whipped off our suit.
Yeah, it's like,
Yeah,
Gender
that's
fluid
me.
Susato, go. Yeah, I'm here for it, honestly. Clearly it suits her.
Mhm.
Susato Mikitoba. Hello.
Okay, he's good.
I don't. So dashing, so divine. No. Doubly dashing, yes, and devilishly divine. Just look at you. I had no idea, Miss Susato-san Esquires, that you were locum student Naruhodo-san Esquires' cousin.
Oh my god.
Oh dear.
Astonishingly astounding ace attorney. Is that the title?
Ooh.
Poor Suzaki-san. So confused. I still remember the first time I ever met him. He was in a prison cell in London, and as far as I'm aware, he hasn't bloody poisoned anyone! What an extraordinary conundrum it was that the unwitting student from Japan found himself embroiled in. But after Naruhodo-san's skillful defense at the Old Bailey, Suzaki-san was free to return to Japan. Am I going to have to voice this man some more this game, do you think? Because I feel like this is setting me up for some oh boy. And now he seems to have earned himself great fame as an author.
I'm stunned. That's a truly impressive disguise. Even I had no idea, and I'm a chief inspector at the police bureau who came up with Mr. Turtle, no less.
I'm not sure you should be admitting to that, Inspector.
Amazing. You're a woman of many faces, I see.
Just two, really, and this was a once-in-a-lifetime event, I hope. Oh, I'm not a patch on you, though, Inspector.
Well, I am a professional, of course.
I do worry about Inspector Hosonaga sometimes. I really do. 9 months ago, when he appeared here at the Supreme Court to testify, he was undercover, disguised as the head waiter of a restaurant.
Mm-hmm.
And then, on the steamship to Great Britain, of course, disguised as a sailor to keep us safe on the journey.
Yeah.
He failed somewhat abysmally.
Yeah.
It
Top.
went well.
Bye.
Though that didn't help you, did it, Kazuma-sama?
From my perspective, I have to admit that I have mixed feelings about all of this. I mean, now the truth has been lost forever. What do you mean? I'm talking about the murder that the Englishwoman committed at the end of last year.
Ah, yes, it was an English doctor she killed, as I understand it.
Dr. John H. Wilson, yes. The man I invited to Japan personally.
The mystery is, why did she kill him?
Yeah, that
Yeah,
was just
exactly.
the thing. Like, I was like, what?
And now that the culprit herself is dead, we'll probably never know the answer.
On the voyage to Great Britain, we had a most unexpected encounter with a Mr. Herlock Sholmes. The great detective, I mean.
Yes, I remember Mr. Sholmes well, of course.
Ah,
My arch nemesis! How lightly you utter his name!
well, according to the stories published about him in The Adventures of Herlock Sholmes, the detective once had a partner who helped him solve crimes. A best friend. And that man was an exceptional doctor of medicine by the name of John H. Wilson.
What? Dr. Wilson? I mean, we all know about the name list that was dropped
Yeah,
at the end,
exactly,
so,
at the
like,
end,
and
yeah.
considering his name, I was almost like, oh,
I just can't believe that it's a coincidence.
it's not.
I think that the English doctor of medicine killed here in Japan 9 months ago must have been the friend and partner of Mr. Sholmes. Yeah, really worried about Greggy. Honestly, same.
Yeah.
And if that's really true, then the poor girl won't ever see her beloved father again. Yeah, I do wonder if it was like a government hit list.
It really seems
I still
so.
think Strongheart is the...
Yeah.
Because Kazuma-sama was also on that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Kazuma-sama, Greggy,
Yeah.
Wilson, and then one other person whose name we weren't familiar with.
Yeah.
And of the 4 on that list, if we take out the person we're not familiar with, 2 of the 4 are dead.
Yeah.
And one of them could be.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Shin! Thank you. Yeah.
Yes.
Shin doesn't sound like an English name particularly.
No.
So...
Well, yeah, Kazuma was, like, invited over to England as well.
He was, wasn't he? He had business there, right?
But, yeah, by Lockhart, from what I can tell. So
yeah,
it's very sus.
I really suspect sussy boy.
Yeah.
You saw the promo art today because the Chronicle games are on sale.
Yeah. It's really nice, that promo art. Yeah, Strongheart looks super evil. He looks all menacing with his arm, like, wide, stretched out
Yeah, he really
pose.
does. Like, if this was a Pokemon game, that man would instantly be like, okay, well, cool, that's the bad guy coded.
Yeah.
Instantly. Done.
Yeah. As you know, I travelled to Great Britain once myself to study. It was around that time you were born.
Yes, grandmother told me about it.
On returning to Japan, I took up my professorship at the Imperial Yumei University. But I also serve another role, as an advisor to the government on diplomatic affairs.
Yes, I was aware of that as well.
In that case, I'm sure you understand that there are some confidential matters I cannot divulge to you.
Could you just tell me one thing? Why did you summon me back to Japan?
Oh!
Because he wasn't sick at all, huh?
We were sussy about that.
It's been 2 months now since I returned. When I left England, it was because an urgent telegram had arrived from Japan. It said that you'd collapsed with a high fever and you were growing weaker by the day.
What? Where did that news come from?
That's what I'd like to know. Because after that long sea voyage, I found you in fine health, Father. Was there something in Great Britain that you perceived might inconvenience me in some way, or harm me? And that's really the only explanation I can think of.
Dear me. Do you reserve your most cutting glares for your father, Susato? I'm sorry, my dear. I simply can't. Let me go. Oh.
Let me go. Huh, huh, huh.
Many Memo-san.
And he wants to get the truth out now, of course.
Quite.
So, one throw wasn't enough for you.
I've got one last thing to say before they take me away. Professor!
Me?
I know the truth. I know you had a hand in what went on. In that visiting student's fate. Visiting student? Jose Brett, you mean? No, not her. The student of law who left for Great Britain 8 months ago.
What? Student of law? He must mean Kazuma-sama. What are you talking about? What does any of this have to do with Kazuma-sama?
Nobody here in Japan knows anything about it. They don't know that the guy never made it to England, that he died on that steamship, and that he'll never...
Okay.
Well, I didn't expect to find him in here. What were you officers playing at?
Terribly sorry, Your Excellency.
Okay.
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 Okay, Judge very
Just took
buff
some
on the
pointers
deck.
off his... Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he was like, I've been waiting to do that for years.
I was coming to tell you that the rickshaw has arrived, Jujin. And, it's a good job I came by. Yes, thank you for dealing with him, and, I'll be there shortly.
Your Excellency.
Ha! The trial's over. I'm not your excellency anymore. Merely your father's friend. Shishiro Yigoku.
Shigoku?
Why, it's not a shin.
Yeah, true.
And may I say that, since I saw you last, you seem to have taken on a more, dashing appearance.
So he knew who we were the whole time.
Susato.
Oh, that's really funny. Did you know all along? From the start of the trial?
Judge sees through everything, Susato. I mean, the judge sees everything except, well, allegedly
Yeah, except
doesn't.
facts.
Exactly. I couldn't let you take the risk. If Shishiro here hadn't known and he'd recognised you. So I had a word in his ear beforehand, as an old friend. So, Shishiro, shall we? Yes. Having ruled on that case, we now have various diplomatic issues to address.
Before you go, Father.
Sorry, my dear? Oh, so sorry, my dear. We shall have to return to our earlier conversation at a later date. Well done, both of you. You did admirably. This is so
Yeah,
sassy
we will
sounding.
have to talk about all the facts and clear up all the truth later. When I am still alive and nothing has happened to me.
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Sure. Great. Wonderful.
Yeah. In between, he will die.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, thank you very much, says Bray. What do you think of my Seishiro sling, eh? It's been a while since I sent a man flying like that.
Stop saying the things you're typing. I'm sorry. Stop making your brainwaves so strong that I keep picking up on them. Whatever could Father be hiding from me? About Jose Brett, about Dr. Wilson, and now it seems, according to the reporter, about Kazuma-sama.
Yeah, well, Strongheart had some bad plans for him, I think.
Kazuma-sama? I
don't know.
wonder. I'm going to have to bring this up with Father sometime,
Yeah.
when nobody else is around. Because he will definitely still be okay. Maybe you need to get further from the screen. Yeah, I think so. That's it. They're too strong because you're too close to the stream screen. Judicial Assistant Mikotoba-san Esquires, could I have a word? Oh yes, of course, Suzuki-san. What is it? I think perhaps it could be fate that we're meeting again like this now. You see, there's something I need to tell you. Oh? I believe that it may be related to the reason why your father summoned you back from England.
Oh no. Don't get killed!
Oh dear. This I have to hear. Please, Suzuki-san, tell me at once. I will. As you know, my time in England was terrible. Cursed, I have no doubt. Such awful things I was embroiled in. Thank goodness locum student Naruhodo-san Esquire stepped in.
This is gonna be the Reaper coming for you after all
Yeah, I
now.
was gonna say, this is just... After he secured my freedom, I could not wait to get on a ship back here to my homeland. Having arrived in Japan, I submitted a report about my experiences to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. The next thing I knew, I had a visitor. It was your father, Professor Mikotoba. He wanted to ask me all sorts of things about my report. My father? He seemed to be especially taken with a particular part of the report. Anyway, he left eventually, having thoroughly quizzed me. But it was the very next day that he sent the telegram to you, asking you to return to Japan.
Oh.
What was it then? The particular part my father was interested in? I don't really know exactly.
What?
Okay, very helpful. Thank you very much. But do you remember them? Those two terrible cases I was caught up in?
No, just
Two.
one.
Of course, I could never forget. Two. When, he wasn't a witness in any of the others, was he? Or a member of the jury or anything? He wasn't jury, was he?
Is there maybe a bit missing
Your
for us?
father seemed to concern himself mainly with the second case.
This is...
I'm so confused. The second one? You mean the one Mr. Shames forbade any of us to talk about in public?
Oh!
That's cute! Oh my god! Oh, I love that! Yeah! So that's what... Oh my god, I love it. Oh, that's so cute. Holy shit. Sorry. I think that's nice. Which is why the only case involving you that any member of the public is aware of is the first. Okay, that's really nicely done. Well, I don't care. I don't have to listen to what that dastardly detective says. Anyway, the point is, it seems that case somehow holds the key to all these curious, unanswered questions.
You little sneaky bastard.
That is so fucking funny. An horrific, hideous, heinous case. The case of the haunted lodgings.
Uh-huh.
That's so nice.
Uh-huh.
I'm so mad at how funny that is. That case somehow caused my father to summon me urgently back to Japan. I thought that whole business was over, but it seems I was wrong. So yeah, that time skip that we had, basically.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Perhaps that was only the start. Perhaps the story is not yet told.
Oh.
So, the mystery of that English woman's
voice.
death is solved, thank goodness. And having stood in the Supreme Court now, I think I can comprehend a little better how you must be feeling as you fight for people's freedom in a foreign land, Naruhodo-san. But actually, I'm writing to you today because of another matter. I met Soseki-san and we talked about that second case he was involved in. Father has said nothing to me, but I feel certain of it. That case holds the key to some great unsolved mystery. My notes on the case should still be in the office, tucked away at the back of the shelves on the left. Perhaps you might like to look over them again. Today, for the first time this year, it feels as though summer has arrived. The sky is a brilliant blue. It makes me long to see you again.
Bus.
Summer.
Susato.
Well.
Well.
Well, well, well.
Well, well, well. And that, as they say, is a story for another time.
Aye. This is a perfect
A
time.
tomorrow time.
Tomorrow
We're
time,
not even
yes.
making you suffer through a cliffhanger today.
No, we
I
didn't.
mean, we could do. We could get game over, end of. The end. That was the whole game.
Yeah, hopefully that was it.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm excited about the other case. Tomorrow we shall continue.
The Memoirs of the Clouded Kokoro. Is that
Yes. That's the
see.
new one.
rather than the case of? The
Yes.
Memoirs of.
Yes.
Huh.
Yeah.
Neat.
I accidentally saw that case name, so I was like, oh, is Zaki-san gonna come back? So yes, the answer was yes.
Why did I give him the voice? Why did I give him? Why did I do that? I could have just said him with like a normal voice. I could have just read him like this, and then it would be fine. Or alternatively, I could have given him a more theatrical thing, or anything that isn't this, because this is actually really difficult to keep going with. It's really hard. I'm sure it must be also really difficult to listen to. But okay, that's fine.
You will
At least we'll have a fun six.
Maybe. Well,
I miss our two idiot boys so much.
yes. Although I also really miss I just want everybody to be. I mean, everybody will be together at least.
It's
like
true.
it's not
I
like
miss shows.
the entire crew's gonna be there.
Yeah. I even miss Iris.
Yeah, I also miss Iris.
You also miss Van Six. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm so glad.
I miss his stupid. I miss his chalice throwing booty.
Considering we're now, I need to get a chalice counter up.
Yeah, you do. You absolutely do. As of tomorrow,
I
you're
need
gonna
to
have
get
to
one.
download Death Counter
Yeah.
and get a chalice counter
Yeah.
up.
I'll try and get that ready for tomorrow.
I'll try and draw you an exploding chalice, unless you think you can draw an exploding chalice.
No.
I didn't. Nobody can draw an exploding chalice as great as the Cannon Doodle's exploding chalice, which I love dearly. Look at it!
I'm sorry, just take it away.
Me, I'm so angry. Look at my boots.
Poke at you.
Yeah. It's so good. That's so good. We're so mad at each other. Yeah. So many objections.
Wait.
You're a meanie.
That's
Give
for
me the
later.
clown nose too. I
you
want the full set. Yeah, give me the full set.
Oh no, shit, it's layering. The
It's
layering
okay,
is
it's
the-
okay, it's okay. The wig can go behind my glorious
Yeah,
ears. Thank
But
you.
the nose!
I want the nose. Oh yeah, the nose has to go in front though. Yeah.
I'm gonna. Sorry,
You're
everybody.
doing splendidly.
There you go. There you go.
I love it so much. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Actually, no, you also need the hair.
Okay, yeah,
I
fine.
can
The
do
hair
them
does look
both.
better at the front.
Yeah. No.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh.
Oops. Okay.
No, not you!
Off I go. Bye bye. It's
Moving anything in
perfection.
OBS is a challenge,
Yeah,
I
it is.
swear.
It's true. It is. But this is better now. We can like rotate stuff and also undo button.
Cursed. That's slightly further up your nose. There you go.
No, it's not-
Glorious. Okay, I'll take it
Clown
away.
music.
Clown music. Here's your clown music. Anyways.
Oh.
Okay, there we go.
It's okay. I don't have to.
We have high quality
We have-
graphics.
We have high quality graphics in this stream.
Nothing but the best.
Yeah.
Or do now.
Yeah, no, that is true. I am just thank you so much. Genuinely, I'm gonna frame them. I wanna print them out and
Yeah.
frame them and put them on the wall because they bring me joy every time I look at them. Thank you. Oh, I love them so much.
Well,
Yeah, they absolutely helped. Can you request a? You can, in fact, request a pic. You can. Once we've printed it and we framed it, we'll send a pic for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, no, absolutely. Next time we fire up the printer, that's going on there.
Yeah.
All the more reason. You also wanted to print some things anyway.
Yeah,
so.
I do want to print some things. Yeah.
Well, actually, it doesn't matter. We're done with the stream.
That's cool.
It can go
Well
to
then,
sleep.
Yeah,
if it
so
wants to.
tomorrow I guess we'll be going back into the past.
Yeah.
Oodly, 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 past noises. Ooh,
Yeah.
time travel. Probably.
So
So that's fun. I hope.
I hope so.
This is going to be torturous. I love it. So I guess that's also why Susato kind of knew about the Baskervilles maybe a little bit.
I think so, yeah, because that's how
Possibly.
she knows. Like, how do you know about that? I don't know.
Gee, yeah.
You didn't tell her, did you, Hurley?
What if that fucking jester shows up?
Oh, yeah, good point, actually. That would make some sense. Given that we didn't see either of them
No.
again.
No. I don't know what they are, but if they show back up, I wouldn't be surprised. Right. Okay, yeah, no, for reals. It's like we're hanging up the phone. It's like, no, you hang up.
No, you
hang up.
No, you hang up. Yeah. Right. Well then,
Yeah.
thanks for coming to our stream.
Mm.
Don't forget, keep the omnibus in your homnibus. What are you looking at?
That's what I want to know. It's just fat cat handkerchief.
Oh, the fat cat handkerchief instructions,
Yeah.
of which I threw out some bits and
Yes,
didn't throw
the
out
other bits
bits.
ended
Sorry.
up on my desk
Yeah,
just now.
well,
Yeah.
okay. Are you quite finished? Could you have done that maybe? Keep the cart, along with the omnibus, aflame in your heart. We've got an ad break. Wonderful.
Oh my god.
Good job.
You know what? This wouldn't have happened.
This wouldn't have happened if you weren't looking at the piece of paper.
If you hadn't looked
which
over and
meant-
commented
I
on
was
this,
like,
it would have been fine.
oh yeah, she'll make it my fault. Make
Yeah.
it my fault. It's my fault now. Always remember. Always follow the Kobold motto: live, laugh, objection. Make it happen. Thank you. And
time. We hope you'll be well.
Good night.
Night.
Crashing goblet noises.